like every time people are bitching the most about a UFC card, which was this card,
Oh, they
they
live in their
fucking
mom's
over deliver
basement.
every time.
They live in their mom's basement.
Yeah, I feel like these cards deliver every single time.
So let me
I did.
ask you guys something, because I've noticed in the last 2 weeks, I haven't watched the cards live. I've more so just caught up with them later on in the day.
Okay.
But it's funny because it's like, yeah, you're talking about like all the finishes and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it was a good card. But because I didn't watch it live, it just, for me, it doesn't have the same effect. So while I watched some pretty good fights and while I watched some pretty killer finishes, it just doesn't like resonate with me the same, you know?
That's what I'm really in that same stage as a hardcore fan that's like trying to learn betting in all reality because I love the sport so much, and taking away our bias love for the sport really makes it difficult to not watch live, because the live portion is a big reason why people love MMA and combat sports, whether it's, American wrestling, Greco-Roman, jiu-jitsu tournaments, any karate tournaments, anything like that. The live version of it is what makes it so cool. Karate Kid didn't, become a good movie because it was about the video. It was about the live, who the heck's going to win this, going on story. And that part is very difficult for me. I agree.
So I'll be honest. I'm like one of them guys, and I'm not playing devil's advocate at all. I think you guys will actually go, yeah, that fits you. I'm in my glory with these shit cards. I love these shit cards, bro. I look forward to them. I could like not betting, not having to break some of them down, not having to do some of the things that we've committed to do that's above and beyond being a fan. But like fan point of view, I knew that card would be a banger. And the shittiest part was I knew the prelims would be great and the main card would fucking drag out for the most part. And I don't understand why they schedule it that way sometimes. Like, you're telling me, I don't care about the win losses. You're telling me at this point in his career, Terrence McKinney shouldn't have opened the main card. You're out of your fucking mind. Marcus McGee, they throw, I don't mean no names, bro. Like, that's not, I'm not like throwing shade, but they throw a fucking no name on the second fight of a main card for fucking pay per views. You couldn't put Marcus McGee on the second, make the McKinney fight the opening fight, or even fucking Bulgarian. You couldn't take a Bulgarian or McGee and fucking piggyback them on McKinney on the main card. Like, that's some of my problem with what they do. Like, you should have stacked the main card better. I felt like it was obvious how stacked the prelims were all week. So like, I don't know, like I'm in my glory with it, but I do have some irritation about how these fucking cards get presented a lot of times. I see your hand up, bro. Go ahead.
Yo, first of all, what's good? Joe, what's good? Drew, uh, Underdog, Rhino, and that picks was good. Will too. How we doing, boys?
What's happening, Zai? What's happening? What you got on that card last week?
Let's hear it.
It's pretty decent. I was just about to bring something up what you just said. Fuck, I just forgot.
That's all right. I was just talking about how they stacked the cards wrong, bro.
Oh yeah, yep. Thank you. Yeah, that McKinney fight. If they would have put that in the main event, it would have been 1 minute long. Like that would have been a waste.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like it's a back and forth thing, because it's like they're taking these great fighters that are main card fighters and throwing them on the prelims, and you're like, what the hell? And to which I would agree. I'd be like, yeah, what the hell? But then at the same time, you have to factor in that they do that on purpose. So it's not, because they try not to make their card top heavy. They try to balance it all throughout because they want the viewership throughout the entire show, not during the main card only.
Well, I think the big marketing tool is always the first fight of the main card, and then the co-main and the main event. All the ones in the beginning they don't really care about.
Yeah, I think they focus on like they always focus on the prelim closer, the prelim main, and then usually the opener, which is why I was so surprised that it was fucking Jamie Pickett and Josh Freed, but I don't know, Fremd, however you're supposed to say it, but I was surprised in that.
But so that's why people get upset about these
Listen, I'm
cards,
not.
though.
This is
That's
not
exactly
me.
why.
I was on no bet.
Joe.
Yo, you there? I thought that was me.
Yeah, I thought it was me for a second too. I'm like, wait a minute.
Same. I think he cut out.
That's that East Coast internet. I say
Yeah,
it all the time, man.
Hey, yo, he like Midwest.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you,
Joe, you are cutting out so bad, bro.
His shit's probably lagging. He's probably getting into a better spot right now.
If
how's
this shit
that?
cancels out, I'm gonna be so mad.
You guys can't hear
Yo,
me?
Yeah, you're good.
You can hear me?
Yes.
now we can. You're on.
Man, I don't know what the fuck happened there. My mute, it kept muting me, bro. Like I was trying to talk and it kept just diverting it to fucking muting my mic. I just unmuted my mic like 85 fucking times, bro. Fucking weird. Anyways, yeah, I agree with you. Like that's why I don't understand why Josh Fremd and Jamie Pickett were the opener of the main. Even if you wanted to leave a lot of that talent on the early card to get people to tune in, bro, there were clearly three banger fights on leading up. They should have opened the main card with one of them, in my opinion. All right, so I
Yeah,
got
if
one.
you ask me, bro, I think Terrence McKinney could be a pay-per-view main card fighter just because of his action. Like it's going to be a first round finish no matter what side the fight is on, and that's what the UFC does with main cards for pay-per-views. They get those fights that are more prone to finishing. He fits that, dude. He fits that mold perfectly.
Oh yeah, he's a perfect opener or second fight. Like he's a perfect 1-2. Um, man, I feel bad for everybody who bet Juliana Miller.
Was that the first fight?
Yeah,
You felt bad for people who bet who?
Juliana Miller, bro. Like I tried to tell everybody we seen her
Hey,
last fight.
real dude, Dead Pix can attest to this. He can attest to this. I said this shit last week. I'm like, dude, it seems like she's the side. It seems like she's the tough winner, so Dana wants to give her a win. Everything seems that way, but she's not good. I said I would feel terrible if I bet her and she lost. I would be so mad at myself. And that's exactly why I didn't fucking do that, man.
Yeah, bro. Like I said in the chat. I think I said it in a comment on a post somewhere. I said it in the space twice, and all I said was, "We seen her last fight. Do not bet her." Like, and that was it. All you had to do was go watch the fight before the last fight.
Bro, and it's like, and this fight itself too, it's like if you watch the other girl, dude, that was some of the sloppiest striking I'd ever seen. If you told me that was a UFC fighter with that caliber of striking, I would have told you no fucking way that was a regional fight. Like it was so sloppy. Like I'm telling you, dude, Juliana's just not that good. I like her. She's got a great personality, but I just don't know if she has that talent, man.
Let me explain something to everybody really quick. Like, I'm not being funny. One of the things people don't understand is anybody can get on tough. A lot of times, they don't even get enough people to show up to fill it. I shouldn't say a lot of times, but like it's not like there's fucking 90 fighters that sign up. Apparently fighters like don't even do it. Maybe now it's changing because I think I heard they're starting to pay them like $5,000 to fight and shit, no matter what, or something weird like that. But like traditionally, there was absolutely no money involved, bro. And for a while, like, I don't want to say they were struggling to get fighters to sign up because that would probably be a fucking lie. But I know that, like, man, I can't remember the season. There was a specific female season, and one of the fucking contenders during the season made a comment about how they called her or something, and then one of the media somewhere outed it that like the UFC had to go get people because just not enough people sign up. It's fucking weird to hear that to me.
I don't blame them, bro. Tough is fucking it's trash. I mean, who the fuck's even watching this shit? There's only like one homie like from the other chat is like watching the show like regularly, and Algueno, if you're listening, and yeah, fucking, and just I don't want to go back on this so much, but Juliana Miller, man, if you bet her, God bless your soul. God bless you. You're a great person. You know, you must really have good faith and all that nice shit. But yeah, that girl's a fade, man. I don't like talking bad about fighters, but she's a horrible fighter, a big fade. But yeah, that's all I have.
I mean, she wasn't doing that bad in the beginning. It's just the blonde chick. She had hands. She was ready to bang. She was in it.
Hey man, I ain't trying to go back on that too much. Yeah, but yeah, fucking whatever we're talking about right now, fucking
Juliana Miller, you lost track.
yeah, yeah. I got
Fuck
lost on
this
that
fight.
shit.
Too much time. I was getting screens set up. I let it babble too long. Man, Damon Blackshear with the twister, third UFC history.
That shit was sick.
Dude, that was the highlight of
And
that
then
whole
picked up a
card.
fight.
The
And
entire
then he
card.
picked up a fight.
Yeah, I know. He's on this week's card.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
wild.
awesome.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Yo,
he's
bless
fighting.
that man.
That's
Big
crazy.
fight.
That's fucking. This man pulls off a fucking twister, and then a fucking week later is like, yeah, let's fight again. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I'm with it.
Yeah, I fucking love it. And I liked Damon because I had taped him at some point. You know what I mean? I had taped him at some point, and I was high on him, and then he kind of let me down. I think I bet him when he lost and shit. And I was like, man, fuck him. But he looked great, bro. I was happy for him.
Did he get the bonus?
I
Did
don't
he
know.
get the bonus? Did he get the bonus? Come on, man. Of course he got the bonus.
Just making sure. Gotta make sure I know.
Bro, it was a twister. There's only been 3 in the entire fucking history of the UFC. There's been 3.
If you're a recent viewer, like a fan of late too, you've seen 2 of them because Bryce Mitchell did one of them.
Yep, and then Chan Sung Jun.
Yeah, zombie.
Well, Korean Zombie did him in WEC though.
Yeah, not in the UFC. That's what I was just trying to think. That was a quick call, I know.
Are you sure?
Thank you.
Yeah, he's right. I'll Google it if we need to for debate, but
I don't think I'm looking right now.
No,
I'll
you
bet
don't.
you a unit. I'll put a unit on it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I thought Amorium
No.
was.
No,
Go ahead.
it was his UFC debut. It was UFC Fight Night, Nogueira versus Davis.
Ah, should have
shit.
took the bet. Should have
Oh,
took the
you
bet.
lost the unit, Bert.
No, you didn't take the bet. You didn't take the bet.
Ooh. Amorium. So I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't think Amorium was the side. I thought Ruiz was gonna catch her, if I'm being honest. I thought Amorium might have even fucked herself up, like made a bad decision that cost her the fight. So
Did you see the size difference between those 2 women?
yeah, I had just really looked at that one on the numbers. I told you I was down screens last week. So
No, dude. So Ruiz, don't get me wrong, dude. She's a brawler. She's a good fighter, but she's an atomweight. She's very small.
I 100% agree with you, bro. And like, I'll be honest, like I said it last week. I didn't really get any good screens to do shit with. So fucking all I could, it's not an excuse, but I hate looking at shit on my phone. I don't feel like I get a good read. I had highlighted her. I just thought she would, I thought she would I shouldn't say do better than she did, but I thought she would. I thought she'd pull it out. The Boudet fight. Few people in here were on Boudet last week. I was just like fucking fade Parisian, but few guys were actually on Boudet, so that was a nice one because I figured that shit would go the distance. So,
Bro, we were all on the over, man. No one expected that shit.
yeah,
That fucked everyone, man.
True.
yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, I can't. Yeah, it did.
He put on a good fight though. That dude Bidet or whatever his name is.
Man, fucking Isaac Dalgarian did exactly what he was supposed to do. Man, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. That was fucking phenomenal. That was the TKO elbows. Man. After that, McKinney looked great. 1 minute 25 seconds. Fucking I don't know if that's his fastest one in the UFC though. Even to be honest, I don't have it open where I can click it really quick in front of me, but that might not even be his fastest finish in the UFC.
Bro, no, his debut was the fastest, remember? It was like
43
7
seconds.
seconds or something.
Oh, I do fucking remember that.
It was against Steamroller.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Court McGee or Marcus McGee. Not at. Listen, I'm not gonna talk shit about anybody. I'm just gonna say that it was JP Buys. We said that last week. So JP Buys did his role in that fight, and Marcus McGee lived up to his role. Is what I'm saying.
Lock.
Yeah. Josh Fremd and Jamie Pickett, of course, first guys on the card to say fuck it, we'll go the whole distance. And after a fucking phenomenal prelim card, I'm gonna skip that fight because I didn't like that fight.
Hey, I cashed
AJ,
though. I cashed, baby.
did you?
Yo, I was sweating though.
I bet. I fucking bet. AJ Dobson beat Tafon.
Ninchukwi.
Ninjukwi. Yeah. Tafwan Ninjukwi. Good showing. I felt like a lot of people in here knew that AJ was the side last week. I'm not like upping us, like we all knew AJ was the side last week. So that was a nice one. Yasmin and Pollyanna. I also thought I was on the wrong side of both women's fights. So I thought Pollyanna was gonna pull it, man. Shit. She got arm triangled than a motherfucker.
Bro, Yasmin had a couple like good reversals and scrambles that I wasn't really expecting. And so every time she was able to reverse and get on top, I'm like, damn, that was slick. Because she would do it so quickly. And I didn't expect her to have that edge on Pollyanna. So yeah, good showing for her, man.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either, to be honest. I thought once it went to the ground, Pollyanna was gonna be good. Like I knew Yasmin had good submissions. Like I did know that, but I just thought Pollyanna was gonna be strong and just control her once it went to the ground. Like, yeah, fuck, that didn't pan out. The dude, Khalil Roundtree. I fucking love Khalil. I've been on this dude for a long time. I think I might have just found out he's in a cult or some shit, but I'm okay with that. I don't care. He fucking looked great. I noticed that I wish I would have went back and wrote down the fucking comment. But they were asking him in an interview post fight, I think, about people saying that he's so aggressive and how he felt about it. And he just kind of downplayed it. But that man has a switch in his past few fights. He goes in that motherfucking cage to kill somebody. I thought he looked great. I will say this. Chris had a second, though. He had a glimpse where for like a split second, I'm like, bro, stop getting hit so much. Stop getting hit so much. Like he did find a few on Khalil. I didn't expect it at all. I thought it to be very one-sided, which it was, but it wasn't. So I was happy about that one. Who cashed that? Somebody better cash that shit.
I lost.
I did.
Yeah, you lost on Khalil?
Yeah, I took Dawkins' bum ass on accident.
What?
I've
Well,
done an
no, he got
accident bet too,
steamrolled,
bro.
dude. That guy got knocked out a bunch of times, and then he gonna come in against
How,
Roundtree, who's got all that speed.
Yeah,
how the
yeah,
hell do you
almost wrong bets I
accidentally
took.
bet someone? What?
Especially after he went to Thailand. After he went to Thailand for a year, dude, he came in with that Chris freaking Muay Thai and beat the shit out of Andre. Who am I thinking of? Andrew. I know that. Who did he beat the living crap out of?
I don't know. You were saying it.
Yeah, it's like Andre
Something.
something. Yeah,
Petrovsky?
but I don't think it's Petrosky. But he's in
Anyway,
the same light heavyweight division, and once he came back from that, I mean, Roundtree, everybody has to give him respect for his power and his stand up. I mean, if you're gonna beat him, you better take him to the ground. Because if you think you're gonna get lucky and freaking bang with him and get a lucky, strike that lands, that's a risky style to fight Roundtree.
I agree. I agree. Cub Swanson, Hakeem Dawodu. Did anybody have Cub winning?
I had Cup to lose.
Yes, and so did the judges, but they took that money hidden in their pocket. It
You mean
makes no
those
sense. There's no way
children?
Cub won that fight.
So I'll be honest. I have not went back and rewatched it, but our dude,
I can see the third.
Olin, he's actually right there. Shit, I didn't even know he was in here. So Olin, I seen him saying last night that on his show, he's got a show on YouTube. It's not bad. Uh, it's a little late for
Oh,
me, so
cool.
I
You got not bad from Joe. That's pretty good.
yeah, it is. It is. It's not bad at all. It's a little late for me, particularly on Monday night, because I get up so early on Monday. So I think I passed out on him like halfway through. But I was watching it on my TV only. So like, you made it, baby. Like you're on the TV. You're not on somebody's phone, bro. You were on the TV. No, I'm just fucking with him. Anyways, it is a good show. But he was saying that he went back and rewatched it, and he could see it going either way. I think he said 1 and 2 he could have gave to Cub, and then 3 he would have gave to Hakeem. I did not go back and rewatch it. I remember watching it live and thinking, "Oh, Hakeem got that." Like, but it wasn't a fight I actually was like edge of my seat for. I was watching, but I wasn't like, "Oh my god, this is the one," when I was watching it. So I think I was eating and shit is what I'm saying, but I thought Hakeem got it. So, but I guess there's an argument for Cub. I know nobody in this space is gonna say out loud that Cub won that shit though.
That shit was a robbery. What?
In the alternate universe, maybe he won, but fuck, man, I don't know. That was some bullshit, bro. His
Here,
kids, man, his kids fucking lord the judges.
so
It amazes me how you give a guy who kind of just, when somebody just fights defensively, counter striking the entire time, and they land just amount as their opponent. I just don't get how you can say that they win the rounds because their counter striking was going good. It's like, but they're not the aggressor. They're not landing any more significantly than the other person. So they would have to do something like a knockdown or at least land more strikes significantly to win the round. And when you have close rounds like this fight did, I don't give him the cup because he's not the aggressor unless he's going to do some real damage.
I gotta hit you with the bell with that one.
yeah, I mean, it's a good argument for your side. It's 100% good argument for your side. Cade, what you got on this one?
Nah, I didn't. I was just gonna say like I thought Hakeem won, but I'm not trying to sound like a dick when I say this either. But I mean, your first problem to anyone in here that bet this is that you bet Hakeem at like minus 300. That's your first problem. I would never ever bet that fucking guy at minus 300.
Yeah, he wasn't worth the price tag, but he was a fucking parlay piece, and that was the last piece I needed. But yeah, that totally fucking fired back in my face.
I
Yo,
mean, minus 300 isn't a bad parlay piece, but I understand 100% what Kate is saying wholeheartedly. So I I see both sides of that right there. But if you were just on Hakeem money line at minus 300, yeah, that was a dumb fucking bet. I don't
Well,
say.
yeah, that's why I would
I thought
say
it
it's
was minus
definitely a
two
fight to stay
thirty.
away from.
Oh, I thought he just said minus 300 it went off.
I think he was minus 230 early in the week, but he closed damn near over. I think he closed over 300.
He did close around 300. Like
The
I was
thing,
doing late parlays. That's what the line was around. It was like 290 or some shit on DK.
So do y'all think Vegas made a call? Because like that was the only 2-1 favorite to lose. Every one of them won before.
Hey man, I said in the chat, bro. I'm not saying fights are fixed, but I'm not saying that the outcome isn't fixed.
Here's what I will say. If I go back and watch it again, I guarantee you I give it to Cub. So I don't need to go back and watch it again. Watching it live, eating my food, that's the truth. I was like, oh, I think Hakeem got that. But if I go back and rewatch it, I'm gonna give it to Cub, and here's how I know: because Sal D'Amato gave it to Cub. I
yo,
always agree with Sal.
fuck
Always,
that
bro.
motherfucker.
Bro, I always
Fuck you,
agree with him.
Al.
I, I always agree with his ass, bro. So like, I already know if I go back and
Why are they
watch it.
always controversial, though, Joe? That's the question. Why are they always controversial? And you agree with the guy that messes it all up?
Joey Solomon.
I wish I could show a John Jones laughing meme to the whole group right now. I wish I could just like post a John Jones laughing meme. Why is always controversial? That's what greatness is, bro. I don't want to. That's what greatness is.
That's
Controversial.
what fucking shit up is
Anyways,
when it was easy to answer.
that's the end of the card.
The
Yep.
main. What about the main?
Well, all
Luke
right.
K.
I talked about it earlier, and I said RDA was really cool. Didn't you hear the beginning? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, like I don't. Okay. Um.
Yo, he
Yeah.
had brain
Anyways,
aneurysm, came back, got the dub.
We got time. We got time restraints on this shit, dude.
yeah, we got to move on. We don't really
I,
have time to stick on this. Everything's timed around here. That was 30 minutes for review. Sorry, the RDA Luke A fight don't make the
Ain't
cut.
nobody got no time for that.
I will say I do like to do the ranking movements. I've been doing that. It only takes a couple minutes for before we transition to the card. So I don't know why Dan Hooker goes up and RDA goes down. I know why RDA goes down one, but Dan Hooker goes up one. Why was
he
that's
just,
at lightweight? Why? What the fuck? Why is he? Isn't he? Didn't he just fight at welterweight?
I think he fought out both weight classes.
I know. I don't know. I don't. He's not active at 155 anymore, is he?
Who are we talking about?
RDA.
I thought he stopped fighting there.
Yeah. Why is he even still in the fucking rankings? Drop his ass out.
Wasn't his last fight at
Uh.
155?
It's just the way to Connor fight, guys. Relax.
I do not know why at lightweight Johnny Walker moved up to number 6. Nobody moved down for that. Khalil Roundtree went up 2. I gotta get my glasses. Fuck you guys. Don't laugh at me. You always do. Mirzakanon, I can't say that shit. Azamat went down 1. Dominic Reyes went down 1. That's light heavyweight. Pound for pound women's rankings. I don't usually do the pound for pounds on this, but it's the only thing that moved for women last week was Tatiana Suarez is now number 8. Yan Xiaonan is now number 9. Yeah, that was the only thing, which is weird because, well, I guess that's because the wins at the other weight class for pound. So I guess that does make sense. Anyways, on to this week's card. UFC 292 it's in Boston, Massachusetts, right? I know.
Yes, sir.
How are you going, bro?
Dude, depression. I am not.
How are you not going?
Dude, fucking Tony Ferguson, a couple other people, man.
What?
And my friend spun it on me too.
He said Tony Ferguson and a couple of other people. You talking about bad bets, Zai?
Yo, did you lose your money on him, fool?
Dude, I would have won like $10,000 if he won. And Spencer though, Earl Spencer too though.
You had $10,000 on the line on Tony Ferguson. Please tell
Last,
me you're joking.
I mean, the parlay would have paid out 10 racks. Yeah.
Dude,
Man,
you're telling no, hold on.
I'm
You're
sorry,
telling me
man.
you were in this space during that week when myself and Joe and multiple people said, do not put your money on Tony Ferguson, bro.
Yo, we need to lap this one, Joe. Lap it up.
Oh, all right. Okay. UFC 292. That Zabets is not going to. O'Malley Sterling versus O'Malley takes place at the TD Garden in Boston. There were a gang of fights scheduled and rescheduled and moved around for this card. I'm not gonna go through them because it'll probably eat up over 5 fucking minutes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9 movements with the reschedules. It's like 11 movements. So like I'm gonna skip it. It's a card that's been rearranged several times. Fights have been moved. Fighters have canceled, so on and so forth. I'll get on with the first fight of the night. Is Karine Silva versus Marina Moroz. I always say her name fucked up. I know it's a real easy one to say. It's just one that gets me. Silva is 5'5", 67 inches of reach, orthodox. Marina is 5'7", 67 inches of reach, orthodox. I'm not going to hit all the stats. Trying to get a little less formal about it. I think Karine has a great grappling upside here. I think the early pressure is all in her favor. I've seen some people that are on Marina. I'm not mad at you if you think she should drag Karine into deep waters, maybe take a decision from her, maybe make her gas. Like, I understand what you're saying. Marina's got good output. Give one to take one type of fighter, but I think Corinne goes out and puts hands on her. And I mean that. I think she goes out there and gets after it right away. I think she starts throwing punches. I think she literally tries to put hands on her as fast as she can and take her to the ground. I expect this fight to be first round finish, Corinne. I cannot decide if I would bet a sub prop or a KO prop. I'm not real worried about betting it. I haven't been heavy on bets lately, but I'm high on Corinne. So, like, I really think she gets this shit done in the first round. Anybody else on this fight?
I have like no really valuable take here. I just giving a little piece out there. I remember I was trying to refresh on some that Myra. This is the Myra Morrows and the Queen Silver fight, right? Just to be sure.
Yes, sir.
All
Opener.
right. So I was watching a little bit of Myra, and she has decent boxing output. I wouldn't say she's the more aggressive of the two on the feet. Like, so if you could lead the dance, I'd say that's your best chance, because I was watching that fight back with Myra and Silva, and I was noticing that she's she doesn't have raw power like a lot of one shot power, but she does have that power that adds up, like in terms of the jabs in the boxing. But like I said, what I noticed was that if you're gonna be able to like walk her down and like keep her back to the cage, and you could find success on the feet for sure. Um, in terms of the grappling, I wasn't really able to find much like because I was like really short for time on this, but I wasn't really able to find much for her of her defensive game in terms of the grappling. But what I did saw in terms of the offense is that if you were the lesser of the two in terms of the grappling, then she could take you down, and she could hold you down for sure. She could do some decent work in terms of actually having control, and in terms of doing some ground and pound. I saw her. I noticed that she has some submission finishes for a boxer that transitioned into MMA. If I'm not mistaken, I mean that's got to be pretty impressive, and speaks about her the work that she puts in. So in terms of this fight, I mean, I'm not really too refreshed on Korean, so I'm not gonna say go out there and bet Myra. But what I will say is, I do think she is tough, and I do think that she could not like take a beating because I really haven't seen her take a beating, but I do think that she could obviously stand in the fight and make it last. So if anything, I would probably be looking at that over, but that's just like early leans. So if anything, like early leans, do not play this. The pick will be Myra, just because I'm biased. That's what I've seen, and the obvious play for in terms of bet would probably be an over. But that's just like early looking at it. I'm not that set. So that's all I got.
Usman.
What it do? Do I sound good or what?
Yeah, bro. Nice and clear.
Cool. I'm in a big ass city right now, so I better sound good.
This conceited ass comes in here and
Don't
says, "Oh yeah,
jinx
how do
us
I
on that
sound? Let me
shit.
check my mic."
Hey, I always gotta check. I'll be talking shit about me being a robot and
Don't
shit. I'm in
jinx us
Dallas
or
now. I better sound fucking good.
Good to see
don't
you,
jinx
buddy.
us or Joe can't hear you. So stop.
Um, so I've been seeing a lot of love on Morose, and I bet Kareen by sub in her contender series fight. I bet her by sub in the Poliana fight, and I deviated from the damn game plan and bet against her in this last fight. And well, if I would have just fucking did the same thing, we would have been cashing big checks over here. But I don't know what's up with all the love for Morose. Like, she's been in the game for quite a while. It seems like the only grappler she's fought is Myra Buena Silva, but that was down at this weight class, 125, and Carla Esparza, and Carla Esparza beat her. I think I'm gonna go back to the plan and just bet a quick sub. I dropped the stats earlier on how she's lost to fights where she gets taken down. She's won fights where she goes for takedowns, and so she's gonna give Kareen her best shot at winning. And it's also like Myra's been doing it a long time. There's not big upside for her. She just had a big step up against fucking Jennifer Maia and lost that fight. And every time Jennifer Maia has a fight, everybody's willing to come into space and talk shit about her. So why in the world would fucking the UFC be giving Kareen Silva the opening fight of the night where they want some violence against somebody who doesn't have a future in the top 10, top 15? Like, I think this is an easy play here. Kareen Silva by submission. That's what I'm going to be going for.
You don't. I'm not being funny. I'm not just trying to stumble you, bro. You don't. I really think the ground and pound is there too, bro. Like, I really think the ground and pound is there too. I know we haven't seen it of recent, but man, that woman can hit. I mean, I know she's very impressive with the submissions lately, but she's got fucking hands too. Za.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I'm gonna go Karina because she's gonna get that win back. Like, this is a rematch. I guess they fought back in 2014 and she lost. So I think she's a lot better fighter now than back then.
Oh, this is a rematch? Bro, I didn't even know that. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, check capmma.com. Check it out.
Man. This is fuck. Almost 10 years later. Oh yeah. Marina ain't taking this trilogy. Ain't no way, bro. I
And
ain't
it's a first
Trilogy.
round. First
What
round
Well,
the
yeah.
armbar too.
If you
It's
win the
a
first
armbar.
two, the trilogy's over, Dead Picks. You just won the trilogy. Isn't that what DC said when John Jones kicked him in the fucking head and then finished him?
man? DC's been fucking stumbled and fumbled by Jones. I don't really fucking care what he has to say about that shit. Don't.
He said, Joe Rogan said, "What does this do for your rivalry with John?" He said, "When you lose two, I guess there is no rivalry." That's what he said. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Clearly, everybody's on Corinne except for Dead Picks.
Nah, disregard what I say. What do you call it? Fucking what you guys were saying was convincing me, and I'm rolling with the team. Let's go, Kareem.
Oh, no balls, bro. Come on.
Yeah, you could have told us all the fucking
It was an
stuff.
early lean. Fuck off.
Fuck off, he said.
I can't. I got nothing. Andrew, I'll tell you what. Why you want to let me just hit like the early prelims and then you can just do the prelim card, or did you cover every other one already?
We can do whatever you want, my man.
Yeah, I'll just hit the early ones and then you take the prelims and we'll rotate the regular ones. So I'm gonna take all the really exciting fights here. Andrea Lee and Natalia Silva are next. Andrea Lee is I'm loading like shit right now. Like, is anybody else on UFCstats.com?
Yeah, I
I
am.
can be.
Yes.
So my issue is SureDog is working, Google is working, Wikipedia is working, Cap MMA is working, fucking UFCstats.com is taking like weeks.
Okay, well, it's working.
I,
Here.
I got it. Yeah, I got everything loaded quickly up here.
All
Fuck,
right,
I
go,
don't know.
Andrew, go.
Go, Andrew. Yeah, I said let me get the early prelims, and then my shit's just spinning. Fuck.
You sure?
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
Go, goddammit. Go.
All right. We have a flyweight matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We have the veteran Andrea Lee taking on the rising prospect and Natalia Silva. Andrea Lee is 13-7, 5-5 in the UFC. Silva is 13-5-1. She's undefeated at 3-0 in the UFC. Andrea Lee will be bigger, a 2-inch height advantage, 5'6" to 5'4", 4-inch reach advantage, 69 to 65. And they differ in stance. Lee is orthodox and Silva is southpaw. I think we all know where this fight's going. I think the UFC knows where this fight is going. Andrea Lee is a 500 fighter in the UFC. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. Granted, they're to pretty damn good opponents, but I
And
just
she
think
won
she's
her
on the
last fight.
downswing. I think she's going to be cut soon. Natalia Silva has looked really good. She obviously hasn't been facing the best of competition, but she's been looking damn good doing it. And she's already jumping into a top 15 fight now. I think she's ready. I think she beats her anywhere. I think Silva's better on the feet. She puts out more volume and she takes way less damage. And Andrea Lee doesn't move her head off the center line ever. So she's going to get pieced up. And then I think if it hits the ground, I think Silva can dominate there. She can grapple her, try to get her back, or she can sit on top and ground and pound. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. I know there's a big size difference, but that doesn't mean anything to me because she looked damn good against Jasdavicius, and Jasdavicius is a little bit taller and bigger than Andrea Lee, so that really isn't a problem to me. I'm probably just going to take Silva in a parlay because she's juiced as hell. I do think she's worth it in a parlay, but I wouldn't straight bet her just because, like I said, whenever bets are that big, it's crazy to do it. So I would take her money line in a parlay. I think it's fairly safe. Other than that, I'm not betting this though. Joe, you got anything on this one?
I'm with you. I think Natalia is the side. I'm in the exact same spot. If I do throw a parlay together, and again, anybody listen, I'm a $20-$30 parlay guy. Don't take your fucking thousands of dollars and bet them on anything I say. But she's a nice parlay piece in my opinion. I I don't actually have anything bad to say about Andrea Lee. Whatever her personal shit is, I'm just objectively looking at the fights. So whatever the personal shit is in her life, I don't know. I hope that all fucking works out for her. But I don't have anything really bad to say about her as a fighter. I could nitpick her apart, but I think she's pretty solid. I think Natalia is the clear side here. Yeah, everything you said plus two, probably Andrew. Rhino, what you got?
Um, but I just wanted to say that I'm going with Silva, and this is I think, a very average WMMA where decision and over is the way to go. Both of them are probably going to put on a standard women's MMA fight. that we'll watch till the scorecards come out. Andrea, I did get to meet one time on a podcast, but and I know that she's kind of always had some crazy going on in her life because she did when I met her on the podcast, and that was probably about 3 years ago. Uh, Either way, this is a decision fight, in my opinion.
Really, you don't think it can? You don't think she can get the finish?
No, I don't think either one of them are going to finish each other. They're going to put on the same thing. Andrea Lee is, as a veteran, she doesn't get finished very often. She pretty much almost won her last fight. It was a kind of a split decision over Macy Barber. I thought she did really good against Macy Barber, who's definitely getting some respect, even though I think she's kind of a little overrated. So I know she can scrap, and Silva is a little prospect that's coming up and doing very well. But I think Andrea Lee's got enough talent to try to stick in there for 3 rounds.
Fair enough. Like I said, I think Lee is solid, so I don't got anything. I have nothing negative to say about her.
And that's why I think she can make it to the scorecards.
That's very, very fair. All right, next fight up, we're looking at Gerald Mershard and Andre Petrovsky. Is you?
And Joe muted himself.
He traded with Usman for the robot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what happened there? Did I lose the connection, or is he quiet?
Oh no, he did it in the beginning of the space too.
No, bro, I'm telling you, it's muting me. I'm not touching the phone. I'm telling you guys, I was muted until you guys said it. I didn't know it. Anyways, next fight. It just did.
I was gonna say, did it just happen again? Anyways, I'll just say that I'm always down. Y'all have heard me say it before. I'm always down to put just a little fucking sprinkle on Andrea Lee by sub. And will it happen? Probably not. Are the odds probably going to be real juicy? I think so. So I'm always down for Andrea Lee by sub. I like the way that sometimes she'll just jump on somebody's back, and Silva is lost by sub a couple times. But for me, the side is definitely Silva.
Yeah, I agree with you because that's the only way she wins.
Yeah, I think Silva's striking is pretty high level. I think she can definitely dominate this fight. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if Angela won.
Joe,
Okay,
if you can't, are you good or should I'm about to move
I'm
on?
here. I'm here,
Okay,
bro.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go on to the next fight.
Go ahead then.
All right, Andre Petrovsky versus Gerald Mershard is next. Middleweight bout. Andre Petrovsky is 9-2, 6 foot, 73 inches of reach. He fights switch stance. Gerald Mershard is 35-16, 6'1", 1 inch height advantage, 77 inches of reach. Southpaw. Mershard and Petrovsky both land just over 3 strikes per minute. The difference is Petrovsky absorbs 2.2 while Mershard is absorbing 3.4, which is a little bit more than he absorbs. Petrovsky is averaging 5.4 takedowns per 15 minutes. Gerald is averaging 2.1 takedowns per 15 minutes. The submission attempts is literally double for Petrovsky at 3.4 per 15 minutes, with 1.7 per 15 minutes for Gerald Mershard. Mershard is coming off a loss to Joe Pfeiffer. And Petrovsky is coming off he's on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC. I personally think that this fight is I think it's writ in the water. I think Petrovsky will be able to stand with Gerald on the feet. I know Gerald I just said he's got a reach advantage. I don't think it's going to matter a ton. He's got really shit takedown defense. I think he gets taken down. I think Andre Petrovsky wouldn't say that the finish side is the upside. Mershard is pretty tough, but I'm definitely on the Andre Petrovsky side here. And Andrew, do you hear me?
No, I didn't hear you. I hear you now.
You didn't hear my breakdown of the fight?
No, I heard the
you broke
breakdown.
off right at the very end. You said Andrew, and then that's it.
Wow. This is fucked. I got good internet. I don't know what the fuck is.
We're good, Andrew. What do you got? What do you got?
This fight's interesting. It's funny because if you look at Gerald Mearshart, he is who he is. He's been in this fight game for a long time. And if you look, he's actually won 3 of 5 fights. On the surface, it looks good, but a couple of those fights he wasn't winning until he won. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I think Petrosky's a lot stronger. I think he's going to be faster. And I think he's going to be getting a lot of takedowns. I think he's juiced for a reason. I just kind of think Gerald Mearshart's on his way out, and they're kind of using his name to bolster Petrosky up. I mean, outside of Mearshart catching him in a late second, third round sub out of nowhere, I mean, yeah, I don't really see a lot of room where he wins. I feel like you just got to go with the younger, stronger guy. This one doesn't seem too complicated.
All right, you guys can hear me?
Yep.
Way better.
All right, I was saying I think Petrovsky is the side. I think it's pretty clear to me that he will be able to take Gerald down. Gerald's got shit takedown defense. He's got a gang of submissions, but he's also been submitted a gang of times. I expect Petrovsky to win this fight. I don't think it will be his biggest feat, but I do expect Petrovsky to win.
Boostman may disagree.
No, I don't disagree. I think I've told you the script on Mearshart multiple times. They let him get a couple wins just so he can take a couple losses. I know he's coming off of a loss to Joe Pyfer. And I've said before, you look at all the names that he does lose to, they're all names that they want to push. I see Andre Petrosky being a replacement for Gerald Mearshart. Very similar, better striking, probably better grappling. Kind of the same fight style, in my opinion, from just thinking back on him. And I think they're willing to let Mearshart take another loss here. I know I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Petrosky sub just because earlier in his career he's shown some gas issues, but I think he's fixed up the gas, or he's on that special sauce, and he's just been looking a lot better. I always ride with my tough alumni, and I think he's going to get a win here.
Yeah, I like Petrosky too because he's calling out Bo Nickel. He's calling himself the best grappler at middleweight. So fighter confidence, that's a good thing to hear. And then he's really good at top control, and Mearshart's fine with playing guard, I'm pretty sure. So they're just going to neutralize each other, I guess, with Pyfer. I mean, yeah, what's his name on top and just beating the shit out of, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, Petrosky.
Yeah, I was
Petrovsky
going to
beating the
say
shit out of Mearshart.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
could
I
see
think.
that.
I was gonna say Petrosky did a good job of holding down fucking big ass Ovin St. Preux, man, and he has them slick submissions off his back. Well, you know what I mean, the Von Flu choke. But being able to hold him down and Eric Anders down pretty easily, I think he'll have a easy way with getting top control against Mearshart.
Yeah, I don't see it being a big feat.
So are we
Next,
all gonna parlay Petrosky? Like, is that what it sounds like?
it does sound like that, to be honest. That is what that sounded like.
I do an early parlay, prelim parlay all the time. I'm not mad at Silva, and Petrosky right there. Let me find somebody else to bet on too.
All right, so quick plug.
Let's
I
go
know
to
that.
the next fight. RoboCop. Bing.
Listen, Listen, there's only a few people in here, but we do get a decent amount of replays. So quick plug for the site, capmma.com. If you go over there right now and turn on the parlay calculator and check the little compare box, and you take Silva, and Petrovsky, you can get that line as high as 217. As high as 222 at Betfair, as high as 217 at Bet Online, which is a popular book, as high as 206 at Pinnacle. Another good look on that one is 202 at Cool Bet. If you bet with BetUS, you're getting fucked. You get plus 109 on that. If you're betting at what's a one in states that's not doing. DraftKings gives you plus 198, which I guess isn't too bad. Anyway, capmma.com. It's our site. It's got a cool parlay calculator. It's got a real nice news section that features some all the local, or I shouldn't say local, all the big outlets on it. Resource section will be back soon, and then of course a profile for all of us. Anyways, next fight. You want to introduce this one, Andrew?
Sure. We've got the tough finale that's going to be taking place. It's going to be the lightweight final. It's going to be Austin Hubbard and Kurt Hollabaugh. Austin Hubbard, 16-6. He's 3-4 in the UFC versus Kurt Hollabaugh, who's 20-7 with a no contest. And he's winless. He's 0-4 with one no contest in the UFC. I got to say, I don't really understand this season. I didn't really watch it too much, but just the concept of it doesn't really make sense to bring back a bunch of these vets who are like old. Kurt Hollabaugh's 37 years old. Like, it just doesn't make any
But they
sense to
beat
have
the
him on the
shit out
show.
of all of the prospects. That was the funny part.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like they all ended up against the younger guys. So it's like it's funny because the Ultimate Fighter, used to be a platform for guys to become really, really good, and now they're just kind of using it for name value as opposed to anything. They're not actually trying to build anyone. You can't build these guys. It doesn't make any sense. I just kind of think this is like one of those filler things.
No, you got that wrong, bro. And
Dude, go
here's
ahead.
why. Here's why. Because look at it from the UFC's point of view. If the young guys would have came in and beat up Kurt and Jason Knight and all them other vets, their hype coming into the UFC, having beat up a bunch of UFC vets, would have been the biggest hype job that the UFC's gotten off tough in 10 years. It just didn't pan out for them. But like, it's not like it was just filler, it's fodder. They wanted the I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They wanted the fucking young guys to go out there and beat the shit out of all them old men. They just didn't realize them young guys were young, and all them old men that they picked up were still fucking fighting for a living. And they've got a lot more on the line and a lot more why. And I said that in a tweet, and one of the fucking rookies fucking got all pissed at me and fucking made some comments and shit,
You better
but
hit that bell, Joe. Hit that bell.
they all fucking he got all mad at me. You don't know why I fight. Listen, I'm not being an asshole at all. Even at all fathers, all parents are going to fight for their children, but what you're fighting to leave your children when you're 25 opposed to what you're fighting to leave your children when you're fucking 37, believe me, it's much different. These men's why was
Just a
nothing.
tad.
Yeah, bro,
Just a
their
tad.
why them young men had versus the why these vets had, the UFC just didn't see that shit coming. But anyways, I didn't mean to defer too much on that, but my point is the UFC wanted all these rookies to spark these fucking vets so that these guys came in, listen to just hear Dana White in your head. These guys came in, they beat up some vets. These guys are already UFC fighters. Like, he was trying to fast track them motherfuckers, and it didn't work out. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your take on the fight. I had to get that off because I've been laughing to myself about that all season. Like every time you guys beat one of these young kids up, you are fucking Dana's season up. Like you are fucking his shit up. By the end of that season, Dana was sitting there like, yeah, I don't know what happens now, man. I don't know what happens if Connor gets
I almost think we should just say, fucking go on to the next fight.
no. No. I think I like Kurt. I like Austin too. I think Kurt's fighting for a lot, man. I like the dude. Tough. I watch Tough. Fuck anybody who doesn't. And if you don't, I don't want to hear your shit about it. Kurt, I like Kurt, man. I want him to win. His family could use that money, bro. I want him to get it. I'm not.
Don't both of
That's
them
it.
got like pretty big families?
Yeah, I just like Kurt.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I
like,
said
yeah, but you
Austin's a
can't go
good
off of
dude.
that because both of them got that story.
The fuck I can. It's a TV show. That's what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do.
This is drama.
This is it.
Yeah, next on Days of Our Lives. My man.
Joe, you're being very emotional right now. I'm gonna need you to tone it down. All right.
Listen here, bud. I'm not putting him in the parlay, okay? Usman watches the show. Usman, who you rooting for, bro?
Man, I fell off these last two episodes just because I've been real busy. But I'm on Kurt, man, and even when you look at their records in the UFC and what they've done after the UFC, it's like Kurt got a bad shake, man. Thiago Moises, Shane Burgos, Johnny Barcelos, and of course, we know what Johnny looks like now, but back then he was pretty damn good. And then when you look at Austin Hubbard, I mean, Vince Pichel, Joe Selecki, Mark Madsen. Sure, Mark Madsen, I mean, he's got a pretty record, but nobody's going to be writing home about him being anything huge. It's like, I'm just on Kurt. Like you said, I like his story. I think he's the guy with the Down syndrome brother and stuff, and he has the fundraisers and shit for Down syndrome or something like that. Yeah, man, I'm on Kurt.
So wait a minute. I'll move on, but you didn't see Jason Knight versus Kurt Hullabaloo?
No, and I know. Everybody was talking about it. I'm going to catch up, especially before the end of this weekend.
Bro,
But
listen,
I know.
I learned something. I do want to watch fights in the Apex. I just don't want announcers at all. I do not. I would watch it with nobody talking, and I would be so excited to do it, bro. You have to watch that fight. It
Man
is
said he wants a
fucking
Kumite.
bro. It
Man,
is
well,
top 10 of my all time fights. I fucking love that. I watched it 4 times, bro. Like I'm not lying. That's fucking great fight. Man, what a fucking fight.
You talking
well,
about
I
the
know
last
everybody
fight?
hates.
Jason Knight must have learned that in his BKFC days.
Yeah, Jason's a bad motherfucker, bro. Yeah, the last one, not this week that just played a few minutes ago. I ain't seen last week. Fucking Jason Knight, Kirk Hullabog. I tweeted about it, and Kurt liked it and retweeted it and
Oh,
shit. So
yep, yep, yep.
that was cool.
Yo,
Uh,
that was a crazy ass fight, yo. They gave everything in that fight, both of them.
But bro, because it was in the Apex with no announcers, it just felt so different. It was, man, and because of the coaching shit, nobody was coaching anybody, and they just went in there and fucking fought on what they had. Man, top 10 all time fights for me in the UFC, bro. I'll never forget that one. The whole season is worth that fight. I swear to God, the whole season was worth doing just for that fight.
That's why I gotta go with that dude this weekend.
Yeah, me too. Straight up. I fucking like the guy now.
For me, I thought that was like a one-sided war. I thought Kirk was just pushing the pace and kind of dominating. And if he looked that good in that fight, I think he's going to look even better, coming up. So I'm with Kirk. I'm with y'all on this.
Yo,
Yeah.
the guy he's facing's kind of injured too, I believe. I remember he was saying it in the show, like, "Yo, I'm kind of hurt, but I gotta fight through it."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was. I think it's been so they finished filming, I believe, right as the season starts. So you would figure he's probably had 6 weeks to recover. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, Kirk didn't even get hurt in that last fight. I don't think that, you know.
I mean, he got busted up a little bit, but he didn't get fucked up or anything. Nothing that wouldn't have healed. Just tissue is what I'm saying, like topical tissue. Nothing that wouldn't have healed. So, uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm on Kurt. I fucking like Kurt. He's 37. I hope he just gets in the UFC. He gets a 6-figure contract, which is $100,000 a fight. And I hope he fucking bangs out 4 winners before he retires with his old ass, bro, so he can sail off with that dough. Anyways, next fight. I cut Andrew off and didn't let him talk because he don't watch the show because I'm a dick sometimes. Sorry, Andrew. I do like you, and the things that you add are very valuable, friend.
I don't like him.
I got emotional on that one.
Yeah, I don't want your fake ass apology. You're good.
Next up, RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, Dennis Talulian, 185-pound fight, 13-5 for G-Rod. Talulian is 10-7. Rodriguez 6'3", 75 inches orthodox. Talulian 6'1", 77 inches of reach orthodox. Both men land at a high clip. Both men absorb at a high clip. Gerald's give one to take one at about 6 per minute, and Dennis is give 5 to take 6 per minute. G I hate saying G Rod. Rodriguez does shoot takedowns. He's got a 50% accuracy. He shoots about 2 every 15 minutes. He's got 100% takedown defense to this point in the UFC. I would say as many fights as he has, he's had to have stuffed at least something. On the other side, Talulian has 72% takedown defense over 3 UFC fights. But he has no grappling stats, so he's done none of it. Both guys average about 7 minutes per fight. I would say the under is the side here. I would say Rodriguez is the side here. Yeah, I don't think there's if anybody wants to argue for Talulian, let's fucking hear it. But other than that, there's not going to be a ton to say here. Usman, what do you got?
Robo. No, let me just list off this shit. Hold on. Listen to this right here. So, Talulin's last wins. Jamie Pickett, 13-10. Giuliano Friera, 12-4. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. What about Alexei Novikov? 7-17. Jesus Christ. Let's just go 2 more, guys. 2 more. Denis Zaitsev, 0-1-0. And Oliver Domdunda. This is a good one right here. 0-13. Man, fuck Dennis Tululin. Let's hope this guy gets finished in the first. Everybody bet first round something.
Listen, I think the under is definitely the spot. Rodriguez has got a gang of UFC fights. I don't know the exact count. I could click it. Hold on. I could just find out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Tululian's got 3. Rodriguez got a 7-minute, 47-second fight average. Tululian got a 6-minute, 55-second fight average. If you go over to their last, we'll just look at their UFC real quick. Rodriguez in those last 7 fights, the UFC fights, round 1, round 2 at 1 minute 27 seconds. Round 1, he did go to the distance with Petrosian. Round 2, 3 minutes 13 seconds. Just missed the under there. He went the distance with Dusko. For Mead, okay, so for Mead was pre-UFC, and those were all 1-2 rounds. So he gets it done more than half the time in under. And then if you click over real quick to Talulian, round 1, round 2, late in round 2 early. And then even prior to that to the UFC, he's only been into the third round twice. So I think the under is pretty good play here. And I personally think Rodriguez is the side. That's personally. Anybody betting Tullian? Andrew, who you on this fight? I already know who you're on, but who you on this fight?
I'm on who you know I'm on. This one's... So here's my thing, though, right? So if you look at this card has a lot of big favorites. Like, there's a ton of people who are minus 200 or bigger. And some of them just seem so goddamn obvious. Just makes me think, like, okay, one of these fuckers are going to lose, right? You got RoboCop. You got Petrosky. You have Silva. You have Brad Tavares. Mario Bautista. Ian Gary. Wei Lee. And the main event, Aljamain Sterling. So it's like you have all these fights where there's huge favorites, and some of them seem so obvious. Like this one just seems so obvious to me. I don't know, man. I think I might do a small play with like the first few big favorites that we've already talked about. I mean, the only way I can see Rodriguez losing is if he just decides he doesn't want to grapple at all, even though he clearly has the advantage, and then he gets caught. Other than that, though, I mean, it should be an easy dub, right? Usman.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my foreleg right there. I'm looking at Robo, Petrosky, Silva, and Silva, and y'all know my rule about two or more women fights that are over minus 200, and right now that's Silva and Wiley Zhang. The Korean Silva line has actually been going down. Hoping that Wiley Zhang is the one that drops it and it's not Silva, because I feel like it's always one of those women that are over minus 200. But I like the matchup for Silva. That's my foreleg right there, and that's at plus 303 on Bet Online. I'll take that all day.
Say those odds again that you got on that. Say that again.
Plus 303. Once again, Bet Online don't show the odds. I just so that I check out how much that wins. I just put $1 and that makes $3.03. So I think that's plus 303, right?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Anybody else on this fight? Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Man, you're going to love this one. So I'll be nice because I don't want you getting emotional on me again. But we have two Wiley vets. Chris Weidman is making his return after a 2-year layoff after a pretty nasty leg break. He's going to take on Brad Tavares. Chris Weidman is 15-6. He's 11-6 in the UFC. Brad Tavares is 19-9. He's 14-8 in the UFC. Brad Tavares is a pretty big favorite right now. This is an interesting fight. I mean, Tavares is 36. Weidman's 39. And just because I've said this so many times, this guy's nearing 40. Anytime there's someone over the age of 35, you got to look at it. And he's coming off of a leg break. I don't know, bro. Brad Tavares and he's had a long UFC career. He has a pretty damn good takedown defense. It's 80%. The only person who's really made it look bad was Yoel Romero, but this was 9 years ago when Yoel was still in his 30s. So he was, still pretty fucking nasty at then. That was still in his prime, I would say. So I don't know, man, because Chris Weidman's going to want to grapple hard and he's going to want to wrestle. I just don't know if he can get him down. And Brad Tavares will obviously work him in the stand-up. I don't know, man. This is one of those, like, I feel like this is the one where it's like, if I throw Brad Tavares in a parlay, like, that's going to be the one to fucking bust it. So I can't see myself betting on this one, but I don't know. I know everyone's hoping for a Chris Weidman win, and I think, for history's sake, it would be pretty cool, but I just don't know if he gets it done. Does anyone think he gets it done?
Cade. Cade, go ahead, bud.
I don't think he gets it done. and it's because I don't like old fighters on long layoffs.
Does anyone think Brad Tavares should be minus 290?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, that's a fucking super steep line for someone like Brad Tavares, you know, here in his career. I I get that he's facing an older guy on a layoff. I totally get that. That's why I said it. But a 3-1 favorite, like,
Like, that has to
that's
be
just
wrong.
yeah, like that's just so much juice. That's why I'm saying, like, I would hate to lose a nice parlay on this fight. I would hate to fucking lose a parlay on this fight. So yeah, I can't touch it, bro. Usman, go ahead.
Nah, Za had first. Go ahead, Za.
Za, go ahead.
Appreciate you, boss. Quick question for the group. The last few pay-per-views, what has won, a favorite or underdog?
What, the main?
Yes, sir.
I don't track them, to be honest.
Well, Aljo's losing, so
So Volk won the last one. He was definitely the favorite. The pay-per-view before that was 289, right? I'll see if I can tell you this real quick. I just
In the last three, it's been dog favorite with Poirier the dog. I mean Gaethje the dog, Volk the favorite, Nunez the favorite,
there you go.
and Sterling the favorite.
There you go. There you go.
Man, I legit thought me and Cade were gonna be holding hands, walking to the window, betting Chris Weidman, but I guess I'm gonna be all by myself. I no specific reason. Yeah, fucking Brad Tavares has had a long ass career and still has 80% takedown defense. So I completely get it, and y'all can shit on me for putting a little sprinkle on Chris Weidman. Maybe I still believe in my boy, or that's our boy, whatever the fuck his dad said. But and it's just like Brad Tavares. Like, I don't know why they're setting this up. It's not like, back to what I was saying earlier about another fight. It's like, what do they want out of this? Do they want the champion to get a win? Do they continue wanting to push old man Brad Tavares? Both of these guys are old. It's like, I don't know what they want.
I,
I'll just put a little sprinkle on
I
Chris.
certainly wouldn't bet no fucking Brad Tavares at fucking almost 300. They lost their damn fucking mind.
Yeah, that's real life for sure. Tavares at minus
Dude,
150.
yeah. Will said it,
Mine's
and
an
Cade makes a great point because he said it about, I think he said it in the chat earlier today. He's like, I think the reason why you guys are mad that Hakeem lost is because you bet him at like 300 to 1 or 3-1. And it's like, yeah, bro, like you're a fucking spot on. That is why I'm mad. Like,
well, it's like MMA lines they've lost their fucking marbles lately, man. Like some of these fights, I'm just like, he's a minus 300 against who? I'm like,
You
I
know
just
what I
don't know.
think some of that is, though, Kate? To be honest, I think it's the books. So I think MMA betting is taking off and it's getting big. And the books are getting smoked on certain fights. And I think they knew they would get smoked on Weidman at a fair line. I
Yeah,
think.
dude. On Monday, I kid you not, Joe. On Monday, because this is what I hate. I use DraftKings. They don't drop all the props and shit until fucking Thursday, maybe Wednesday night if I'm lucky. So I
Mhm.
don't place any of my bets till Thursday. Well, what happens is it ends up fucking me because Ian Gary was like minus 370 or 380 on Monday. Cade goes back to DraftKings to fucking check the line on Ian Gary, and it's fucking over minus 500. I'm like, fuck me.
dude, I was thinking the same thing because I checked it like an hour ago and I'm like, yep, there goes that boat. I'm not betting it now.
Yeah. So, oh, that was his last opponent. I was going to say he was minus 161 6 days ago. Bet Online had Ian Gary at minus 161 6 days ago. But that's a different opponent ago, right?
Yeah. Usman,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say about the lines. Gabe has been preaching it, man, about freaking the market being the books overcorrecting, not wanting to get smoked, like Joe was saying. And then I think also like what he was saying, MMA betting is freaking blowing up, and we've got casuals that just go and just not. I'm not talking shit about anybody that's a casual, but just people that just watch fights casually and they see, oh yeah, this guy he lost last time and he looked pretty shitty. Let's just bet against him. Plus the lines are already juicy. The books already have him as a big favorite. Let's just stack up on that person, and then we get a good line on a dog or something.
Yeah, like Tavares at minus 150, which is probably what he should have been. I don't care what anybody says. That's my take. Um, Tavares at minus 150, just because every sharp better would have taken that odd just because of Weidman's been out, because of everything we already said. I'm not going to, beat it with a fucking stick, but he would have became too big of a parlay piece. So if Tavares did win, even though he should be a slight favorite, they'd have got smoked so fucking bad. I just feel like they have to, people lose sight of the fact that the bookies have to set lines ideally so that people bet evenly on both sides and they get to take their 10 or 20% vig. That is the perfect world for a book, is that one side and the other side bet dead fucking even money. The bookies take their fucking 20%, 15 per, it's 10% on each side. So they take their fucking 20% and they fucking, or whatever it adds up to, and they fucking go on to the next fight. So like when you're looking at Brad Tavares, should he be a minus fucking 250, 245, 285? Absolutely not. But he has to be for the books to even the action out that they will get on it. Like that's what I think. Anyways, my thoughts on this fight. I haven't given one take on this fight at all. When I seen this fight, I went, Chris Weidman's fighting. No fucking interest. Get the fuck out of here! That's it for me. I'm
I'm
done.
shocked. I'm shocked.
I don't care, bro. Chris Weidman, Brad Tavares. Who gives a shit? Anyways, can we go to the next one?
Sure.
Cheeto fucking Vera versus Pedro Munoz. What the fuck ever. Cheeto's 5'8", 70 inches of reach, switch stance. Pedro is 5'6", 65 inches of reach, orthodox. Pedro throws at 5 strikes per minute. Cheeto throws at 4. Cheeto absorbs at 5. Pedro absorbs at 6. So they both like to get hit more than they fucking land. Neither guys are throwing too many takedowns. Both guys got decent takedown defense. 70% Cheeto, 80% Pedro. No real average takedowns. Cheeto is coming off of a loss to Sandhagen with a real nice win streak before that. Cruz Font, Edgar Grant. Pedro was coming off a win over Gutierrez. No contest fight with O'Malley. I think that one went into the second, if I recall. He lost to Cruz. He lost to Aldo. He beat Rivera. I'm Cheeto gang all day. Super biased. Super biased. But I will try to give a fair take. Pedro used to be a really fast starter. If you're a Pedro fan, you're going to think that Pedro's going to come out real fast, come out and start real fast. If you look at his last 3 fights, he has not started really fast. He has actually started more at Cheeto's pace. And then his strikes per minute, so to say, have grown as the fight goes on, peaking at the end of the second, beginning of the third. I expect to see them have the exact same pace until the fight ends, whether it goes the distance or one of them get the finish. I expect them to have the exact same pace. I expect them to fight with the same intention. Neither guy trying to get the takedown. I favor Cheeto because I'm a Cheeto fan. I think he's got a striking advantage. I think he'll have crisper kicks. As the fight goes on, I think that He will have the crisper striking over like everywhere. I think he'll have crisper striking. I'm not saying that Pedro fades. I just think that his composure changes a little bit, and I feel like Cheeto's composure stays very in form as the fight goes on. I don't know who was up first. Usman, go ahead.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Pedro has just been okay recently with just hanging on the outside and letting the fight come to him. I think that'll be a bad thing coming into this fight. I think we're going to see a battle of the leg kicks, and I think Marlon Vera is just going to be better there with those leg kicks. He also has the reach. He's going to be able to. Very rarely, I think we're going to see him with a more volume there in the first round, and I'm just got to go with Cheeto. I'm also Cheeto Gang. Big fan of his, even though he gave me a big fucking stinker and fucking live in public in that last fight. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Cheeto.
Nice. Kate.
Hold on, my daughter's getting yelled at.
That's cool. I'll say this real quick. So, we just had a mic request from Pancakes. Real quick, here's a funny thing. Me and Andrew were at International Fight Week last month. Pedro and Cheeto were like right fucking next to each other. Were they one person apart or literally right next to each other, Andrew? Do you remember?
Fuck.
I
I want to
can't
say Cheeto was like
third.
second or third on stage.
Yeah, and then they had a female in the second spot. So Pedro was the one spot, and then you met somebody, and then 12 feet later, Cheeto was standing over there.
12 feet, bro. No, not even.
Yeah, like they were right on top of each other. Cade, go ahead.
All right. I like Pedro, man. I like Pedro here because I do think Cheeto. Listen, I think Cheeto's gonna win the fight for some reason, but I like Pedro for some reason. And the reason I say that is because I feel like Cheeto, not in a non-disrespectful way when I say this too, I feel like he's losing the fight until he's not. But I don't know. I just like Pedro in this spot against Cheeto. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like Corey Sandhagen really exposed something on Cheeto's game the last time they fought. So I don't know if I don't know if Pedro will be able to take advantage of that or not. But I kind of like Pedro here.
Man, fuck you too, bud. Friend to friend. Pancakes, go ahead, bro. Nice to have you on the mic.
What's up, boys? I hope everybody's having a great night. And yeah, we're just talking about this Cheeto Vera Pedro Munoz fight. I'm Ecuadorian myself, and as an Ecuadorian, you're supposed to be backing up the Ecuadorian fighter here, but in reality, I have to go Pedro Munoz. I am anti Cheeto Vera, and this is why because he is known for talking a lot of shit. He is known for hyping up his fights. Oh, he's always been saying, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this guy, this and that," but every time he fights like a bitch. He doesn't fight. He fights for he's a 5 round fighter. If he fought, let's say, what was his name, Dominic Cruz in a 3 round fight, he lost that fight in a 3 round fight. Absolutely. If he was losing that fight against Frankie Edgar until Frankie just got caught with that amazing kick. I gotta give Chito Vera that, but he was losing that fight. I was there at UFC 268. And Corey Sandhagen exposed Chito Vera. I was watching this with my cousins, and they were all Chito Vera, this and that, because as an Ecuadorian, you're supposed to be backing up the Ecuadorian fighter here. But I told my cousins, hey, Corey Sandhagen's gonna expose Chito Vera. I don't know how, I don't know with what, but he's gonna expose him, and he exposed him. He exposed him with the wrestling. Chito Vera just backs up for 5 rounds, and in the last round he just starts attacking. He's not a fighter in my opinion. So yeah, I gotta go Pedro Munoz. I think if we saw what Corey Sandhagen did to Chito Vera, and that's wrestle him, I think Pedro Munoz has to do the same plan. He has to go out there and just shut his lights off early, because we all know that Chito Vera, when it comes to the early rounds and the beginning of the rounds, he he doesn't know how to cope well. And plus, this is a 3 round fight, so in a 3 round fight, Chito Vera is definitely going to lose that one, and that's coming from an Ecuadorian myself. So
Wowzer.
Man, you're new on the mic, so I'm gonna not go hard on you. I will remind you that in like a round and a half, Sean O'Malley beat the shit out of Pedro's leg, and I expect Cheeto to do the same. Will, get it.
I think Usman was ahead of me, so you got it, Usman.
Yeah, just real quick, three rapid points, just to back up Cade. I know I'm on Chito, but just to back up Cade, if Chito is losing this fight, he's fighting against somebody who's just as tough as him. 19 fights in the UFC, has never been stopped before submission or KO. So, I mean, if you think that Pedro's going to fucking take it to the distance, I completely understand that. Back to pancakes. Pancakes. I was in a fucking stadium in San Antonio full of fucking Mexicans slash Latinos. And do you know how much I had to hear shit exactly like what you were saying? I was flabbergasted that I was around a bunch of fucking Latinos and everybody was cheering for fucking Sandhagen. I hated it. And lastly, Joe, to talk about what you were saying with Pedro and Chito right next to each other. Did you bring that up? Like, was there a huge size comparison? Do they look the same size? Like, what do you think about that?
Joe.
You might be muted, brother.
I also want to say one thing, and yeah, whoever said my name, but yeah, I'm an Ecuadorian, and that's coming from not just me. It's coming from a lot of Ecuadorian people that keeps that hope that wants Cheeto to lose. This guy talks a lot of shit. He always fucking says, "I'm gonna fucking kill this guy," this and that. Okay, we get hyped, bro. We're like, oh shit, yo, like Cheeto's about to fucking go off. The only good fight that Cheeto had was against the fucking what's his name, the guy that lost to Corey Sandhagen. I forgot his fucking name. That's irrelevant. Is Rafon? Yeah, Rafon. Rafon, bro. Don't get me wrong. Rafon was killing Cheeto's ass with those jabs and punches. I thought he was losing that fight, but Cheeto Vera, he kind of stepped it up. I got to give him that. But all of his fights have been fluke wins. Fluke wins. If those fights were 3 round fights, the Dominic Cruz, who else? If the Dominic Cruz fight and the Rob Font fight was a 3 round fight, he would have lost that. Okay, and Cheeto Vera is fighting a 3 round fight this weekend, so I don't expect him to win. If he keeps fighting in the same way he fights in those 5 rounds to the 3 round fights, he's gonna lose, in my opinion.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, brother, but yeah, I think we're having some technical issues right now, guys. So just in case the space cuts off, just know that we're gonna relaunch the space more than likely. So just be on standby for that, because I'm like 1,000% sure that's what's going on right now. I said server connection issues. So like just in case, like I said, the space cuts off, don't worry, we will be back.
I
And
think
you know
Joe's
why you had
back.
it? CapMMA.com, boys.
In the
CapMMA.com.
meantime, Will, go ahead, bro.
All right, so I really tried to fade Pedro Munoz last fight, and I was like hammering Chris Gutierrez, but now I'm just kind of like.
Right back at it. I'm telling you guys, it's not me tonight. I'm fucking checking all my connections. It. I don't think it's me tonight. Fucking whatever though. We'll just deal with this shit. The recording for YouTube never stops, so that's fucking helpful, I suppose. Fucking anyways, I could hear everything. Will, you were in the middle of saying?
Yeah, Will was saying something about wanting to bet on Pedro. Will, you there? You there, buddy?
And I think that's a fucking smart move to bet on Pedro, and that's coming from an Ecuadorian. You know, I don't fucking see Cheeto fucking winning at all. Instead of getting tattoos on his fucking head, he should learn how to do some takedowns. That fucking bum.
Yo, this pancake guy is roasting Ecuadorians, man. What's going on here?
Nah, bro, I had enough of
Hey,
Vera, bro. I had it up to here. I had it up to here with that guy.
Cheeto done burned him on a couple bets, man, or something.
No, it's not the bet, man. Okay, this is more than the bet because he let the whole Ecuadorian nation down, bro. We don't have a fucking fighter like Cheetah. We never had a fighter like that in forever. You know, the only guy we have is Marlon Morales. You know, the guy in the welterweight division. He's our only fucking hope. But Cheeto Vera, man, you know how many of my friends are calling Ecuadorians pussies because of the way Cheeto fights. He's fucking putting a fucking bad name on the fucking Ecuadorian name on the Ecuadorian nation. Every time Cheeto finishes fights, be like, yo, Ecuador's are fucking pussies, bro. They don't know how to fight, bro. How you gonna fucking compare Cheeto Vera, a fucking fighter, to every person in Ecuador? It makes no fucking sense. So yeah, I think the way Cheeto Vera fights, he's a fucking bitch. He runs away for 5 rounds. I had enough of him. He's a fucking coward. I hope he loses. I really do hope Pedro Munoz just ends this fucking guy for good. Just ends him.
Pancakes, definitely come back. We definitely want you in this space. Will, go ahead and take it away.
Hold on, no, I want to hear it just real quick. So, in conclusion, what you're saying is that you don't like Chito Vera.
No, but you know why? I said it because he's no. I don't like Cheeto Vera, and that's coming from an Ecuadorian, you know, because he's putting a bad name on the nation. The way he fights like a fucking bitch. Sorry for cursing, but that's the way he fights. If you want me
Hey,
to be
I met
sincere with
Tito
you,
Vera. Here's what I can tell you he does for Ecuadorians, though. You know what I know about Ecuadorians? Y'all get some good ass weed. Cheeto was high as fuck.
bro. Instead, I keep tweeting at Cheeto, bro. I keep DMing him, yo, Cheeto. Instead of you getting stupid tattoos on your fucking body, learn how to fucking do a takedown. How you gonna let Corey Sandhagen take you down, bro? I thought that fight was gonna be a masterclass in the feet, but no,
That's
Sandhagen,
cause
you know.
that's cause
Corey,
my boy Corey Sandhagen's elite, bro.
yeah, he's top
I don't,
five.
I don't hate Corey Sandhagen. I fucking love Corey Sandhagen. But when Corey Sandhagen takes you down, bro, you already know you gotta fucking
I mean,
retire, bro. You just
Corey's a
fucking
decent little wrestler, man. He just fucked Rob Font too.
fuck Raw Fun. That shit was fucking boring, bro. I fell asleep in that fight, bro. That shit was,
Dana
yo,
White
that shit was
left.
terrible.
Anyway.
Okay, can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I was trying to focus on my daughter and shit, so didn't gather my thoughts. But basically, um, I honestly this fool probably already said it, to be honest, as much as he said about Cheeto. But I mean, like, I just look at it like this: like Cheeto, I felt like he was down in the Frankie fight. I felt like he was down in the Dom Cruz fight. I felt like he was down in the what was the other fight that he was in?
Every fight he was down in, he was down in
I
every
wouldn't
fucking
say
fight.
that, but there's just a few fights that he was down in, and if they were 3 round fights, you know, he would have lost, you know. So if this was a 5 round fight, I would have favored Cheeto, you know. But I just think in a 3 round fight,
You
but you
know,
know,
you
at the
guys know
same
Pedro just
time,
had a bunch of 3 round fights and he did lose them, right?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
he was down.
I don't
His
care. I
previous
don't
fast,
care what anyone wants to say though. Pedro was low key beating O'Malley before he got poked in the eye, so.
exactly, absolutely. To be honest, I thought Pedro Munoz won that first round. In my opinion, I thought he won that first round. And we're talking about Cheeto Vera's past 5 fights.
Cheeto doesn't he's slow as shit in the first three
That's the
rounds.
thing. Oh,
He
bro, his previous 5 fights have been he has started fucking down, bro. Even that Davy Grant fight, he was
and
fucking down in that fight.
that
In
and
my
I'm just
decision.
gonna say this last thing and then we can move on, whatever you guys want to do. But like this whole come from behind win bullshit, I don't think it works versus Pedro. This guy's never been finished in his entire professional career, not by sub, not by knockout.
Joe, let's move on.
Well, I got to give my take.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. Wait for Will.
All right,
Wait for
so
Will.
I just saw Pedro go out there and defeat someone just like Marlon, and Chris Gutierrez. You know, they're low volume, but they're super dangerous. So if he can do that against Cheeto and mix in the takedowns, and he comes from a good camp at ATT, I think, he can definitely win this fight versus Cheeto. He's just got to avoid that big power shot. That's my opinion. I faded the fuck out of Pedro and lost last fight, so I'm on him here, though, if I had to bet. I'll probably take the plus 3.5 on DK. Hammer that.
Pedro
Yeah,
Munoz
I
can't
fucked my
check a
whole bank
kick to
account
save
on
his
Pedro
fucking
Munoz.
life, man. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy.
On
But
topic.
that's the same. That's the same way what we think about Cheeto. He can't defend a fucking takedown to save
Wait,
his life.
this fight's not gonna end the finish on topic. I'm gonna tell you how this fight's gonna end. Ready? No, I'm gonna tell you how this fight's gonna play out. You know, this fight's gonna play out with Cheeto Vera backing up like a bitch, Pedro Munoz coming strong, and Cheeto Vera
Bro, stop
fucking
that.
just
Stop
starts
that. Have
swing.
you watched the recent
Yo,
fights? Because Pedro has
bro,
started slow in his past 4 fights.
Man, Joe's about had enough of
Bro,
you,
he had,
bro. You
listen to me.
bagging on it. You
Listen to
bagging on
me.
his dude.
Pedro has started slow in his last three,
hey, I'm
four
sorry.
fights.
I'm sorry you put the house on Cheeto Vera, bro, but he's gonna lose. I'm telling you right now. Just cash out if you could, if you can.
Listen to me. You remember when you're looking at the screen cussing at it, that the dude Joe from On Topic told you Pedro can't check a leg kick. Cheeto starts slow throwing leg kicks. And he's gonna catch Pedro with about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them
Bro, I can guarantee you. I can
right in
guarantee
the
you
first
that.
round, just like O'Malley did. And O'Malley's leg kicks are not as nice as Cheeto's leg kicks, but we don't have to have that discussion. So he's gonna piece Pedro's legs up in the first round, just like Sean did. The difference is Cheeto's gonna hurt his fucking legs and slow him down. And then just like Pedro's been doing for his last fights, Cheeto's volume grows as the fight goes on too. The difference is by the end of the second, Cheeto will be throwing double the volume that Pedro is. This is on tape. You can go watch this. Then you can go check stats.
Cheeto hasn't been piecing any leg kicks in the last fucking 3 fights. Every fucking first round, he hasn't been doing shit. I don't know what you're talking about. On topic, respectfully, I just think, to be honest, when that fight starts, I can be in the bathroom taking a shit for 20 minutes, and that fight's still gonna be fucking going on. I feel like that fight's gonna be very boring, but that fight's gonna be going to decision, and it's gonna be going Pedro Munoz's way. And I'm just telling you right now, cash in. Just listen to your boy Pancakes. All right, Pancakes is gonna tell you how this fight's gonna
Listen,
play
Pancakes,
out.
we just want you to
Pedro
know you can still
Munoz.
come back next week, bro. After
Of
everybody
course I'm coming back. Of course I'm coming back.
after he loses and you're like, damn, I can't go back in there because I went so hard on Cheeto. You can. We won't make fun of you. It's
Bro,
okay.
is this going live on YouTube? Is this going on YouTube?
It will go on YouTube, yes.
Okay. This is for the YouTube. Everybody's watching this on YouTube. This is coming from an Ecuadorian. Yes, I'm an Ecuadorian and I hate Cheeto
Listen, bro,
Vera. You
you
know why I
said
hate
it
Cheeto
six
Vera? Because he
times. All
sucks.
right.
I think like
Andrew,
20
what you
times.
got
Yeah,
next, bro?
he sucks. He's gonna lose.
Yeah,
He's
that's
gonna
why
lose, bro.
Ecuador's fucked up right now. You guys hate each other, bro.
Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Hold on, Joe. Hold on. Bro, you see what this man Cheeto is doing to these Ecuadorians, bro? He's causing World War VII over there.
Listen, man. I don't know.
Bro, you should have saw you should have saw what he
This
caused
is
at my
this is
house,
too
bro.
much.
When Corey said he can beat him, I was celebrating, and my family was telling me to shut the fuck up. I can't imagine when he loses to fucking Pedro Munoz, bro. That'd be, oh my god, that'd be
All
cherry
right,
on
All
bro,
top
right,
for
move
we're
me.
on.
moving on. Andrew, what you got next? Oh, Andrew ain't there.
Andrew fell asleep listening to all this
He's
bullshit.
out, bro. He's like these motherfuckers.
Let's talk about that Neil and Gary fight then, or is that you guys already talked about that
Which
fight?
one's next on the roster here? I got.
Damon Blackshear versus Mario
Oh, this is the
Batista.
one right here, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
Show of
great fight.
hands. How many people are on Batista? Just show of hands. Well, all you motherfuckers are gonna lose your money.
Dude, no way, dude.
Yes
No.
way,
No
bro.
way, dude.
Yes way. Yes way. Wait, here's my question that I don't know. Is he cutting the weight again? Are they fighting at catch weight? What are they doing? I don't know that.
No, they're fighting at 135.
So he's staying cut?
I guess, but it doesn't. Listen, bro, it doesn't matter if they fought at 145, 175, 185. Damon not beating no Mario Batista, bro. I'm sorry.
You on that recency bias, Joe, or what? What's going on now? Well, why is Batista losing?
Dude, I'm sorry, Joe. Damon Blackshear don't get to beat no fucking Jose Johnson, and then all of a sudden people start thinking he's gonna beat Mario Batista, bro. Come
Bro,
on.
Damon Blackshear just got like 50K from a performance bonus, and he's gonna get a bag fighting on short notice. Mario's been hungry for this main card spot. He's been hungry for the respect he's about to get.
This a star moment for him, Will, or what? What's up?
I think so, but it is a tougher matchup.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's 100% a tougher matchup for him. I know Cody came from like a background of wrestling and everything like that, but I mean, Damon Blackshear, I feel like way more dangerous on the ground.
Yeah,
So
listen, he
it is
wasn't training.
definitely a tougher
This is a whole
matchup.
different fight. He was training to fight Cody Garbrandt. He was not training to fight Damon Blackshear. This isn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. This is completely different than what he was training to fight. I personally think that Damon Blackshear is just going to be too strong for Batista. I think it will boil down to that simple fact that Damon will be able to grab him, and there won't be very much that Batista can do about it based on raw physical strength. I think the fight stalls out. Um, yeah, I definitely think there's stalling moments where Batista would normally be exploding or exerting a lot of energy. I think that Damon will be able to contain him. I'm not. I don't. I'm not on Damon to finish. I'm on Damon to take him 15 minutes and win it on points. Usman, what you got?
Skip to somebody else real quick. Does anybody else have something? I'll be right back.
Did you say raise your hands for Damon Blackshear to beat Batista or Batista to beat
Oh,
Damon
I just
Blackshear?
wanted to see who was wanted Batista to beat Blackshear. Who you on over there, Pancake?
Damon, absolutely, Damon. Absolutely, I think Damon beats him in decision
Yeah.
too. I don't see this fight ending in a finish. I'm with you on that one. That's the only one that we can agree on.
Yeah, that's me. Will, what you got on this one?
Yeah, I got Bautista by submission. That's his bread and butter. He's training at the MMA lab with the best fighters in the world. MMA lab's like undefeated this year. Marcus McGee, Kyler Phillips, they looked absolutely incredible. Mario Bautista, he's been in a full camp. Hasn't cut weight. He's doing everything. He's with O'Malley. He's gonna get the takedown. He's gonna submit him probably. That's my take. I mean, Damon's good, but he just got a bag. He just got 50K, and then he probably just got another 50K for the performance bonus. He's getting another 50K. Dude, he's not gonna be that motivated to get a win. He's getting hella clout from this. I think Mario's way more hungry, but anything can happen.
Usman, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just had to look at it, and besides Corey Sandhagen, I mean, you can't really say. And I like Mario Batista. First off, I like him. He's cool. I kind of faded him against Benito Lopez just because I like Benito Lopez as well. But he hasn't really faced any fucking good competition. I mean, everybody will shit on Guido Canetti, and then when you look at the competition, he sits at a 62% takedown defense, but he got taken down by Canetti. He freaking got taken down by Jay Perrin. He hasn't really faced anybody that will shoot takedowns. Jin Soo Sun, basically anybody that does besides Trevin Jones, anybody that does shoot takedowns will get a takedown on him. I don't know what to think about Damon Blackshear. He's had a pretty short career in the UFC. I think the 50K and everything actually boost his ego and stuff. I mean, it makes him hungrier, makes him want to, just like what we saw with Kamzat and fucking Kevin Holland. It's like, oh shit, I just went out there, got a win, got a 50K bonus, and now they're gonna fucking put me on a spotlight on a main card in a week's notice for me to try and go and make myself even bigger, maybe get another bonus. Like, I don't think he's just gonna show up just for the bag. Of course, it's a great benefit. But even as much as I like Mario Batista, I can't say that he's fighting elite fucking talent. And I'll hate on Corey Sandhagen all fucking day, but Corey Sandhagen is the best person he's fought, and he fucking took him down and finished him in one round. And I know that was early, but like Guido Canetti, Benito Lopez, Brian Kelleher, Jay Perrin, Trevin Jones, like these are not the best names, the best competitions. They've been giving him softballs.
Man, I couldn't have said that better myself. Especially about the motivation, bro. Um, like people don't realize sometimes you get in like I'll say it the best way I can say it is you get in a mode that like your whole life, every moment, all you are doing and everything you are aware of is that thing. And this could be Damon's moment. I mean, we seen Chimaev had one, and I'm not saying dominant like Chimaev did, but like we've seen Izzy do it. You've seen these guys be able to go in and like they're different, and you know they change afterwards. Their finish rate changes, they slow down. Everything is different after. Clearly, everything is different after. But yeah, man, I just think this could be a very big and good moment for Damon. Cade, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I have spent some time at the lab, and Mario Batista looks fucking sharp. But, I mean, I don't like. I'm not doubting Damon Blackshear or anything like that. I think he's getting better, but I mean, you can say the same thing with him about the level of talent he's fought. They've all been some shit. Jose Johnson is fucking terrible. That guy's got fucking the worst takedown defense. Such bad takedown defense. You got Damon. Of course, Damon was gonna handle him. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think Mario. I think this is a Mario Batista fight. I think this. Is. I kind of lean with Will. I think Mario is gonna sub him. Like, and on top of that, you guys got to realize too that I mean um he's technically cutting weight again a week later after he just fought, and we saw that we kind of saw the same thing earlier on this year. Not saying even if it didn't happen he would beat him, but I mean, look how flat Gilbert looked against fucking Bilal Muhammad. He looked like he couldn't even fucking move, like he couldn't even fight. I mean, he just looked flat. He cut weight 3 times in 3 months. So what is this, Damon's third fight in 4 or 5 months? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I think Mario Batista beats him.
I don't know, man. You guys are talking about strength of competition. He went to a draw with Zalal and then went to a fucking decision with Basharat, like, and then beat Lacerda, KO'd his ass, and then fucking Twister Johnson. Like, I don't know. I'd say that's a short of Sandhagen, who we know is an exceptional talent. Like, I just don't see where Batista has beat the competition or even went anywhere.
Yeah, but Jose Johnson is
And he
terrible, and
twisted him,
Lacerda's
bro.
not even all that good.
He did to him exactly what he was supposed to. He twisted him in fucking 3 minutes and something seconds, bro. Like, it's not like Jose Johnson took him into the fucking third. He didn't even take him into the second. Dude got twisted. He got his whole body pretzeled until he fucking tapped in 3 minutes and something seconds, bro. Damon did exactly what he's supposed to do. Where in the flying fuck did Mario Batista fucking twister somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I know he choked out Canetti and Lopez, but like, I'm not confident that at this point, at this moment, that Damon went and choked them dudes out in the fucking first round too. So like, I don't know. All I'm saying is there's a strong argument on both sides. I don't think Batista is a fade. I think he's very, very talented as a fighter. Like, I'm not dogging on him. I just, man, I'm I like Blackshear. Usman, what you got?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say. I mean, Guido is literally like 43 years old. Benito Lopez was off of like a 4-year layoff or some shit like that. Brian Kelleher in fight years is 87 years old. And then there's Jay Perrin. He's Jay Perrin. If we're looking for the fucking big number, or big favorites that Andrew was talking about that could drop the ball, and it might even be some freak shit. Like the freak shit is always in play. It could always be some damn freak shit. It could be Mario Batista, and like I said it earlier. I like him. I like Mario Batista, but I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know what to think much of Damon Blackshear. 4 fights. I like Farad Bashara. I like Yusuf Zalal. Dude has gone up and down in weight as well. I don't know what to think about this fight, but I'd like to take a dog chance on a big dog here.
Yeah, I think Damon is one of the better dogs because there's so many dogs that are, like Andrew was saying, all these deep ass favorites. So I think he's a nice one. Zah, what you got?
Do you guys got a line for this fight? I don't see any line.
Bautista's minus 200, and I'm pretty sure that is the freest money you'll ever find.
Bet online minus 220.
Sheesh.
Global average over, and I can tell you now, 9 books have it posted right now. Batista is average minus 233. Damon is average plus 183. Yeah, but only 9 books on the counter. And we've got 31 reporting on most of the other fights right now. So, yeah.
And you got to think Batista's he's gonna swell into a bigger favorite. I think that's what the how the line's gonna go.
100%.
No, he opened at like minus 280, and then it dropped to minus 200.
Oh. Yeah, I kind of like
Nah,
Blackshear here.
there's gonna be a lot of people betting on Blackshear just because of not saying it like this, but just because of recency bias, and he has looked good in his last couple of fights despite who
Hey,
he's fought. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
nope.
what were you
Yeah,
gonna
but
say?
recency bias isn't always like it's now used as like this scapegoat as like when people are breaking down fights, especially in Cade. This is not a shot at you, especially the dudes in the media, especially the dudes at MMA fighting. But it's no, no. I just no, bro. Like no, no, no. Um, I won't. I don't want to go off on a tangent and hammer on you, Cade. I just, man, it is not. That is not an appropriate term for what we're looking at here. Anyway, I'm sorry. My fucking daughter walked outside. It's 11. It's 12 o'clock at night here. I got it. I need 30 seconds. Someone cover. Usman, cover me.
All right, we'll just jump into the next fight, I guess. We've got Ian Gary versus Neil Magny. We've heard about them numbers swelling like crazy. Neil Magny, 28-11. Ian Gary, undefeated, 12-0. Average fight time for Neil Magny, 12 minutes and 35 seconds. Ian Gary, average fight time, 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Height, they are both listed at the same height at 6'3". Neil Magny, like always, is going to have a reach advantage, 80-inch reach versus Ian Gary's 74-inch reach, both standing out of the same stance, orthodox. Neil Magny, he lands 3.52 strikes per minute. Ian Gary, 6.85 strikes per minute. Strike accuracy, 46% for Neil Magny, 55% for Ian Gary. Strike absorb, 2.25 for Neil Magny, 4.09 for Ian Gary. Defense, 54% for Neil Magny, 53% for Ian Gary. Down to the grappling stats, 2.30 takedowns per minute per 15 minutes for Neil Magny, 0.29 for Ian Gary. Takedown accuracy, 41% for Neil Magny. Ian Gary, 50%. Takedown defense, 56%. Magny, 63%. Ian Gary, 0.3 sub attempts per 15 minutes for Magny, 0.0 for Ian Gary. And has anybody got anything for this fight? Andrew, got your hand up. Go ahead, dog.
Yes, yes. Thank you for covering me. I appreciate it. You guys were beating a dead fucking horse with that Cheeto fight, so I took advantage of that time and went to the bathroom. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. With this fight, let's make this easy. Let's not waste each other's time. We can all sit here and fucking talk up Ian Gary. We can all do it, and there's no point in doing it. Is anyone on Neil Magny? Because I don't want to sit here for 10 minutes hyping up Ian Gary. I think we're all on Ian Gary. So is anyone actually on Neil Magny for this fight?
Hey, let me hop in here real quick. I don't usually ever get pulled away from the space. I try to be very on top of being a host. My daughter is 10 years old and came outside and needed to speak to me. She's supposed to be sleeping. I apologize to everyone. Cade, I wasn't trying to go off on you. I was just trying to say recency bias is a term that I hear used a lot, that I feel like sometimes it's not biased. Sometimes you just seen something very recent. And I didn't mean to hammer on you. I hear the term so much sometimes, but a dude looked great 7 days ago. Actually, right now, 4 days ago. A dude looked phenomenal. Like I just I'm having a problem with that being called recency bias. I don't want to go back to that. I apologize for hammering on you, Cade. I apologize for getting pulled away. I'll raise my hand first. I think Neil Magny is a much tougher opponent than Ian Gary thinks Neil Magny is. Neil Magny's getting old. I and some old friends. That we used to have around here have even we would all agree that Neil has a very nice step in jab when he can get it working. It's one of the best you'll ever see when he can establish it. And that's sincere. Go watch tape, go watch fights. When he can get it working, he can use it to absolutely control a fight, even a striker. If Neil Magny can get the jab working correctly and figure out how to control the pace of the fight, I think that he could take it into some distance. I think Gary is the type of guy that will swing in. I think if Neil is piecing him up, Gary will literally like take that half lunge in and swing in. I'm not confident in what Neil will be able to do if that happens. I'm not high on Neil. I just wanted to give some love to Neil Magny. Cade did have his hand up, and then Pancake did. Go ahead, Cade, if you want, bud, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Pancake.
I, by the way, I didn't really take it as you harping on me. I was just saying like we don't have to go back to it, but I just used that term. I don't really use that term a whole lot, but it was just in my sentence then. But I didn't really take it like you were harping on me just to clear the air. But second of all, I put my hand down because Andrew honestly kind of made a good point. I mean, you guys already know what Ian Gary's about and who Ian Gary is. So I mean, there's no reason to talk about Ian Gary for 30 minutes. Um, but yeah, if I didn't say it already, I'm on Ian Gary.
Pancake, get it.
Yeah, I think this is a sign from the guides for Ian Gary not to fight Jeff Neal because I thought that Jeff Neal would have absolutely knocked out Ian Gary, but in that case, now with this fight, Neil Magny versus Ian Gary, you have to go with fucking Ian Gary. But if this fight goes to the ground, you never know. If this fight goes to the ground, I'll give it to Neil Magny. If this fight is standing up, Ian Gary absolutely. But yeah, Ian Gary is gonna win in my opinion. But you never know, though. I'm not saying you never know. I'm just saying right now. Neil Magny can cause an upset because remember we almost saw Ian Gary lose to that random Chinese guy Song Kanan. He almost got knocked out. So you never know in the sport of MMA.
Yeah, I also will say this. If it goes anywhere on the ground, Ian Gary is fucked. He will not look like -5 nothing if it goes to the ground somehow.
Hey, yeah, and Neil Magny's plus 400. Like a veteran of the sport. He's more experienced. You can't go wrong with picking Neil Magny if you have a look at parlay. But yeah, this fight goes to the ground. Just for you Ian Gary fanatics out there, be worried. All right?
Yeah, Neil has passed, but I agree. Ian is younger, stronger, sprintier, leapier. He's got a lot of edges here. I agree with that. I think minus 500 is fucking crazy. He's minus 526 at Ned Sportsbook.
I mean, I don't think minus. I think you know what? Actually, I thought he would have been minus three something to be honest, closer to the fight. But I mean, people might disagree with me. I don't really give a fuck. But I think Ian Gary's honestly the best striker in that division already. So I mean,
What is this, welterweight? Welterweight, right?
yeah, I think so. To be honest, I think he's
You think
only
he's
getting
better than
better too.
Edwards?
Dude, honestly, I hope. I kind of hope Leon beats Colby at this point because I kind of want to
Well,
see
that's
that fight in the next year
bro.
and a
That's
half.
that's not happening. Colby Covington is gonna win the fucking. He's gonna win that belt, bro.
Oh,
This
that's a
bro.
topic for a
Yes,
different
it
night.
This
But I'm
is.
thing.
just
This
saying,
no.
Yeah,
It is a topic.
let's
Yeah,
skip that.
but
Listen, you can. So the worst line you're gonna find on Ian Gary is minus 526. That's over 31 reporting. Well, still let me say that on this fight real quick. It's 28 books are reporting on this fight. The worst line you're going to get on Gary is minus 526, and the best line you're going to get on him is minus 400. If
hey, if
if
you
you bet at Betfair or Bet MGM and you want Ian Gary, you better get him now. He is minus 400 at Bet MGM right now, and that is way lower than you're going to get him at most places. If you're on Neil Magny, Win has him at plus 380. That's the best line. The worst line you can find on him is plus 300. So he's good money everywhere. I'm done with this fight. I'm not being a dick.
no, yeah. Can I just say something before you
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on?
go ahead.
If I know you guys. I know some of you guys need to pay the bills, and I can help you with this. I can help you set a good parlay up. Money line Pedro Munoz, money line Neil Magny, and money line Demond Blackshear. $10, you win $300.
Yeah, but that's $10 loss probably. All of them hitting. I don't know, bro. That's
Donation.
that seems like it. Is the next one the co-main event? Is that where we're
The bathroom breaker, the bathroom break, the parlay.
ah?
Me.
So Whaley versus Amanda. Um, I'll actually do the tail of the tape. We'll bring this one in proper. This is the co-main event, UFC 292. Zhang Weili or Weili Zhang. I'm not sure the appropriate way. I'm very sorry. Amanda Lemos fighting for the 115-pound title. Lemos is 5'4", 65 inches of reach. Fights southpaw. Um, Wei Li is 5'4", 63 inches of reach, given up to fight switch stance. Wei Li has an average fight time of 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Lamoche has an average fight time of 7 minutes 25 seconds. Wei Li is 23-3. Amanda is 13-2-1. Wei Li throws almost 6 significant strikes per minute and lands pretty much 4 on the nose. Amanda throws 4.5 per minute and absorbs pretty much 4 on the nose. Accuracy, striking accuracy, Lamoche 57%, Whaley 47%. Both have about 50% striking defense. Neither one of them do very many submission attempts. 66% takedown defense, 81% for takedown defense. Whaley 66, Lamoche 81. Accuracy is low for both of them. I don't expect either one of them to shoot a takedown unless it's Whaley because she gets rocked. I've actually looked at this fight quite a bit. Whaley is the clear side. She's going to pace her. She is going to use the kicks more. I do think she has the grappling upside if she can get the takedown. I'm not overly confident that she could get the takedown. I never use the term puncher's chance, and I'm not going to use it for Lamoche, but it's been used a lot this week. I don't think it's a puncher's chance. I think she's a good striker. I've been very, very high on her to this point. I just think Wei Li, for the most part, has a very good chin. She can be rocked. We've seen her rocked a bunch of times. And I know we've seen her KO'd, but that was once, right? We've seen her rocked a bunch of times, and she fucking takes it. Um, and keeps going and keeps trucking. So I feel like Amanda has to drop her and then be able to follow up. So I think Amanda's path is slim. Um, I If I was making a weird prediction, Amanda catches a leg kick, throws an overhand as a counter, and fucking drops her. That would be that would be the move for Amanda, in my opinion. Like I could see that. I can see Wei Lee throwing the kick. Amanda can grab a kick, and when she grabs it, she can wrap it. Not just grab it with her hand like some of them do. She can wrap it with her forearm and her bicep against her body. Um, and if she is sharp enough to grab it and throw the overhand, I think she could drop Wei Lee, like hit her hard enough to put her down and have the leverage to follow up. I'm just trying to find a path for my girl. I really like Amanda, but I think Wei Lee is definitely the 2-1 favorite. Should be a 3-1 favorite here. I don't know who was up first. I don't always look down.
Yeah, I raised
Go
my hand
ahead,
first.
Pancake.
And yeah, let's be honest, bro. Let's come on. Like, should we even talk about this fight? This fight's obviously gonna go to Wei Lee. Wei Lee's gonna just fucking just kill her. That's what I think. Amanda Lemos, she's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but I think Wei Lee's just more. She's a more complete fighter in my opinion. So yeah, I think Wei Lee money line or whatever you got. Wei Lee knockout TKO. I think Wei Lee is the one to go here, in my opinion.
I'm not mad at you at all, bro. Usman, go ahead.
Now, go, Cade. You were first.
No, I was just gonna say I think I think Amanda, honestly, like I feel like Whaley, she gets hit in a lot of her fights. She's there. Not saying it in a bad way, but she's there to be hit. Um, so I think Lemos could honestly, she could catch her. But if we're just going skill and based on matchup and not her just having, catching her, I think Whaley has more ways to win the fight. I think like Joe was saying, her pace. Um, and I actually saw it a little bit differently. I actually thought to myself that it would be a little bit closer on the feet than people thought, and that Wei Lee would use her wrestling because I think Wei Lee is the better wrestler, and I think she has the ability to wrestle, and I feel like she can wrestle in this fight. So if I had to guess, Wei Lee's going to come out and wrestle. I feel like it is going to be closer than people think on the feet, and call me crazy, but that's just what I think. I think Lemos is dangerous on the feet, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't let Lemos hit me for fun. Usman, what you got?
Yeah, first off, I'd just like to say I would have definitely been taking Amanda Lemos if this was back in January when they were trying to schedule this for the Brazil card last year. I do hate that this is a big layoff. I think Joe has been like the only person that's agreed with me in the sense of like women's old man strength, old woman strength comes in a little later. So her at 36 right now, I think that's kind of like a benefit. We've seen some older women like have a little bit more success there towards the end. They were also looking at a woman that's come down from bantamweight to flat down to strawweight. She's dealt with some bigger bodies. uh, I agree with Joe about catching the kick and throwing the overhand right, but I also think that straight left is going to be there to catch her. Zhang Wei Li can sometimes stand right in front of you and get hit. I do think that Whaley will definitely be going for some takedowns, and it just sometimes I just kind of feel like she'll leave her neck out there, and she'll be able to either get that underhook and shove her off of her with that old lady strength that I'm talking about, or maybe try and like scoop up a neck or something. Um, I would love to bet Amanda Lemos. I probably might. I'm a fucking degenerate that likes to bet every single fight and try to make it sexy. But I understand why everybody's on Wei Lee. I do like Amanda Lemos. We'll see what happens when it comes to it.
So I was waiting to get back on the mic to ask, has anybody recently watched the second Joanna fight?
Yeah.
So I felt like that fight, I haven't went back and rewatched it, and I will. I felt like we seen a change in head movement out of Whaley. Am I wrong? Am I making that up? You know what I mean? Like, am I completely wrong about that? But I feel like I remember her head movement like 10 steps ahead of where it was prior to that. So, if I recall that correctly, I worry for Amanda.
Yeah, I do think that that has to do with her implementing more of a grappling game in her whole game. You know what I mean? Like she's standing there in front of you so that she can see you overcommit and then go for a takedown and get all up in your body. So she's standing still a little bit more in front of you. I do agree with you that the head movement used to be a lot better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't got to kill this fight, boys. Yeah, we just don't got to kill it. That's all. Andrew, are you still there?
What's up,
Oh, you
bud?
disappeared. We thought you went to sleep because we were bitching about that one fight.
Well, yeah, so that's what I said earlier when you were gone. I was like, yeah, you guys were beating it with the dead horse, so I took advantage of that time and I went to the bathroom.
Man, what he's trying to say, Smokey over here taking his shit. Andrew, why don't you bring the main event in?
Give me 1 sec.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I'll introduce it. The main event of the night, Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley. You got tail of the tape yet? You there?
Yes. You caught me downstairs. Yeah, this is a fun title fight. Aljamain Sterling, 23-3. He's 15-3 in the UFC. Doesn't lose very often. Sean O'Malley is 16-1 with one no contest. He's 8-1 in the UFC with one no contest. Aljamain's a pretty big favorite right now, minus 255. Sean O'Malley is plus 215. I don't know. This is an interesting fight, right? So I know a lot of people are high on Sean O'Malley. I've always been pretty high on Sean O'Malley. I was saying this earlier in the chat this week, man. The narrative, like the intuition, like just the feeling of this fight, like everything tells me that Sean O'Malley wins this fight for all the right reasons, you know what I mean? To further the business, just for everything. But when I like I don't know what it is, man. If people are kind of betting on like their intuition or their gut, like I get it. I can't argue with your gut. Like it is what it is. But I just feel like people are completely ignoring tape. I don't know, man. People are trying to say that Sean is this underrated grappler, and it's just like, well, you haven't shown it one fucking bit, so I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. I just don't get me wrong, he can catch him, bro. Like I actually want Sean to win because I think it's good business for the UFC. I think it'll move it further, and we can get some traction going because this division has kind of been stalled out. But this is, I don't know, bro. Like my gut says Aljamain Sterling wins, but if I'm betting, like that's a huge fucking price line, just because if it goes to a decision for whatever fucking reason it goes to a decision, we've seen this movie before. You know who this decision goes to, unless it's absolutely like unanimous. You know what I mean? So I'm not betting this. I'm gonna sit back and watch. I lean Aljamain Sterling, but I truly do hope Sean wins. Joe, well, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go down that road less traveled for me. Some of you know what that means around here. Aljamain Sterling. I want to throw this out there real quick. Sean is 5'11", 72 inches of reach, switch stance. Aljo is 5'7", 71 inches of reach, orthodox. Aljo's got a 13.5 minute fight time, average fight time. Sean's got a 9 minute average fight time. I Sean is used to having a big reach. He's used to having a very big reach advantage. And even where it's not huge, he's used to being able to extend further, to use his reach better. So when it's close, he's used to being longer still. He uses switch stance in order to work his reach, so that way The switch stance allows you, like, you can swing longer, you can use your reach better because you're moving back and forth, so you can pick your moments, and he's very good at that. I don't think Eljo falls for that shit. I don't think Eljo falls for any of that shit, and I don't think Sean can stop Eljo from taking him down, and I don't think Sean can stop Eljo from backpacking him. I don't think any of that shit. Is there a chance Aljo comes out the gate, stands with Sean because he's going to have to, and Sean cracks him? Sure, I guess. Like, yeah. Sean lands at 7.5 per minute and absorbs at 3.5 per minute. Aljo lands at 5 per minute and absorbs at 2.3 per minute. He doesn't get hit a lot. He averages 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. Sean is 0. Um, Man, there is no world where Sean is in Aljo's league outside of striking. Like, unless you think he's going to be able to punch him. All that shit aside, I will say this. I used to go on Man in the Library spaces, and I did used to hear Man in the Library hit some big fucking money on some stupid fucking shit. And if you go watch the countdown, it's all Sean O'Malley. It's not two sides. It's Sean O'Malley. And if you were tuned into the countdown before,
Don't you steal my thunder,
if you were
Joe.
tuned into the countdown before it started, when they were counting the numbers down, it loaded in, and then they did like a 20 or 30-second countdown or some shit. It was the Sugar Show background. You can't go see that now. They don't show it no more. But it was the Sugar Show background. I don't know if you guys watch Embedded. That's the fucking Sugar Show right there. They're putting his social medias up on these videos. He's getting the last statement. Like, the UFC wants this so fucking bad. So fucking bad. Um, Sean O'Malley was losing the Cheeto Vera fight. I don't care if you like it or not. It got stopped in a way that he tried to argue to be a no contest to the death of him. Sean O'Malley was losing, and somebody else has already said this, the Pedro Munoz fight. Man, the UFC has put so much into this kid. It's almost not reasonable as a company. So I put all that out there, but because I see it and it's fucking obvious. But Eljo, what's that stupid shit he said? I take your backpack, you take a nap. Yeah, that shit is gonna be over for Sean. I don't know who was.
And it's a rap
Yeah,
rap.
and it's a rap, son. That shit is bet Eljo by sub. I don't know what the line is because I'm on DraftKings and it ain't out yet. But bro, Eljo by sub is the parlay fucking piece. I don't know who was up first, but Will ain't thrown it up first all night, so Will's first. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so Aljo holds 24% takedown accuracy. He lands every 2 out of 10 takedowns. Sean's distance management, his range, I mean, it's just on another level. He's going to knock out Aljamain Sterling, and I'm going to recreate my best day ever, which was last year when I had like 600 on him to beat Peter Yan. I'm going to recreate the best day of my life on Saturday, and when Sean knocks out Aljo, I mean, I'm 100% convinced he's going to win this fight. Aljo, I mean, he's cutting hella weight. He's going to get fucking chinned, okay?
I'm probably not betting very much because I've been trying to make it less about that for me and get back to just watching some fights a little bit. So I've been doing a good job of that. So I hope you cash, but I don't know how you will cash Sean by KO when I cash Eljo by sub. I'm not sure how the books work on that. Cade, go ahead.
Something tells me that Aljo's gonna wrestle fuck Sean,
Touch butt in the
and
park,
then
bitch.
he's gonna wrestle fuck Sean, and then Sean's gonna fucking fifth round's gonna fucking land that right hand, and we're gonna have a new fucking champion on some Leon Edwards type
Bro, we
shit.
would get that movie shit with Sean, wouldn't we? 100%, bro.
Yeah, like I feel like he's gonna wrestle fuck Sean for about 4 fucking rounds. The 5th round's gonna start, and DC and Joe Rogan are gonna be like, "Man, I don't know, man. Sean's down 4 rounds to 0. He needs a finish." And then fucking boom! Oh my god! And these fools, and they're gonna show their stupid ass faces, and the fucking lights are gonna be going off, and then the fucking Sugar Show confetti's gonna be coming down, and all this
Because
bullshit.
they'll have
I already know it,
confetti in
bro.
the ceiling for him because that's real life. I agree with you on that.
No, they really will.
Yeah, they'll
100%.
have fucking confetti for him. There'll be licorice
No,
and shit
listen.
in the aisleways. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Listen, you guys can't harp on me for this. Joe, I get what you said. Skill for skill. It seems like Aljo, this is his fight to win. But when the line first dropped and I noticed everyone started betting Sean, I still got Sean a little over plus 300. I had to fucking take it, bro. It's too good to be true. Because I really do see some shit like that happening.
I can't. I'm not mad at you, and I hope that you're slip cashers. Again, I don't know how you will cash Sean at plus 300 when I cash Aljo by sub, because I don't know how the books work all the time. But I wish you the same cashing that I get. Pancakes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree with the people up here. I was there for UFC 288, and I don't know how you guys saw it in person, but I thought Henry Cejudo won that fight. I don't know how it may have been in the TV, but when I was in person, everybody was fucking just saying Cejudo won that fight. And the past previous fights, Aljamain Sterling, he hasn't had a decisive win. All of his fights have been controversial. So for people to come out and say that this guy's like the best bantamweight of all time, it's kind of like I don't know, to be honest. But when it comes to Sterling and O'Malley, this fight's gonna be fucking amazing. This is the first time I'm actually excited for a Sterling fight. And I was supposed to go to 292, but I don't know, but I just don't want to give money to Aljamain Sterling anymore. And yeah, my outcome for this fight, if this fight is on the feet, it's absolutely going to be O'Malley's night. I think O'Malley's going to find a way to not get taken down. When we saw that Peter Yan fight, he got taken down once, and then I think he had like a really good couple takedown defenses on what's it called, Peter Yan. I know he grabbed the fence sometimes,
He
but
got taken
you
down
know,
like 6 times.
oh yeah, my bad. That fight's been so long ago, but no, but he had good takedown defense in that fight too. Let's keep it real. Some of his takedown defenses were pretty good, and if it's true what he said, he's been just working on takedown defenses this whole camp. I feel like if this fight's on the feet, I think O'Malley can just knock him out. In my opinion, I hope O'Malley finishes Sterling. I don't think Sterling is that good of a fighter, in my opinion. If it's I just don't see I just don't see Sterling beating O'Malley.
Fair enough. Usman.
So, I'll preface this with y'all know I hate Jan. Y'all know I hate Corey Sandhagen. I've been on Aljo all this time except for when he had to face my boy Cejudo because that's my number one favorite fighter of all time. But I'm gonna let y'all know why y'all wrong, and I'm gonna let y'all know what's the juiciest shit that y'all can get, and we're all gonna get rich. We're all gonna get rich, boys, this weekend. Go ahead and put money on Sugar Show by submission. I know it's crazy. Y'all called me nuts when I said Alexa Grasso was going to submit Shevchenko. I said that months and ahead. I've said this months and ahead. What have we seen in every single one of Aljo's fights? And some people are going to say, hey, it's good IQ. It's good IQ. But he misses takedowns, and he stays there on his knees. And he's done that to everybody. Brian Caraway, fucking everybody that he's fought. He's missed takedowns, and he stayed there on his knees, and people have gotten to sprawl on him and lay on him a little bit. And my boy Cejudo, if he wasn't a fucking tiny little T-Rex star motherfucker, was going for that damn neck. But he couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. Traps too big, biceps too big, arms too tiny. He was trying to go for that fucking neck. People talk about Sean O'Malley's non-existent ground game, and he has been taken down, but he started in jiu-jitsu. He has a great jiu-jitsu coach. He's been training it this whole time. He's going to hurt O'Malley. I mean, he's going to hurt Aljo. Aljo's going to go for a takedown. He's going to think he's safe, and he's going to get Dar/front choke. It's just what's going to happen, guys. And at plus 2,200, Sugar Show by submission. Hit it, guys. Let's win. Let's make some money. I predict these things. It's just the way it's going to happen. And I want us all to win. Sugar by submission. Next week, come in here and just say, Usman, you got it. You see these things. It's going to happen, guys.
Usman, I want
Bet
you to
it.
know you sound like a Mexican drug dealer right now, trying to get us to throw in on the fucking kilo with you. That's what you sound
Hey,
like. I just want you to
I'm
know.
just giving you. Hey, the Grasso sub was just a little taste so that you can keep coming on back, baby.
All right. Dead picks. What you got, bro?
Yeah, I really have nothing analytical on this, man. It's just the facts for me is like I don't know, just I'll just take down like I'm not discrediting the takedown, the game of him, but it's just like the way that he initiates the takedowns for me is just like I don't know, it's like he keeps his head like really like dipped down. I don't know, like I don't think Sean's gonna go out there with like some fucking Masvidal flying knee, but man, like if he can negate these takedowns, and obviously it's a Sugar Show all day, but um, I'm gonna bet Sugar Show. I'm gonna bet Sugar Sean only because it's in Boston, man. Like if I'm not mistaken, this pay per view taking place in Boston, home of the Irish. Like that's where the Irish folk get down. So I'm gonna bet Ian. I'm probably gonna bet Sean together, parlay that shit, and call it a night. If anything, I'm expecting a big, I'm expecting something big from Sean, and if he doesn't, then honestly, I'm not gonna be shocked at all because I've been trying to get Aljo for the longest. I've been trying to bet against him for the longest, and every time I do, he fucking gets me, man. Him and his boy Marab, they got my number, so I'm not gonna be shocked, but I'm willing to lay down the risk and lay down the money on Sean. I want to see the boy shine. I remember the fucking watching his tape before he got popped off all big, like right after the Dana White's Contender Series with Snoop Dogg and shit. Like I saw that shit. I was watching like his fights on YouTube and shit. Like it's come a long way, and it's crazy to think that we made it this far, like this point. So I will be rooting for Sean, and I want to bet Sean. So let's go O'Malley. Sugar
I
Show.
just feel like we're putting way too much stock in Aljo's bad takedown accuracy, which there's validity to it, but here's the thing, man. He doesn't need to take you down to win because all he has to do is get close. And if he gets his arms around your waist and he fucking holds you, that's what he's going to do. He's going to sit there and he's going to fucking hold him and hold him and hold him. And Sean's going to get him off at some point, but then he's going to go fucking do it again. And he can get your back from standing up because all he has to do is hold your waist, get to the other side, and then he's going to backpack you standing up. So that's why I'm saying, like, from a tape standpoint, I just feel like Aljo has all the advantages. But when you factor everything into it, just, yeah, dude, something tells me Sean's going to win this fucking fight. But if I'm picking based on tape, I'm picking Aljo.
Well, and Yan, so the O'Malley Yan fight, right? Everybody's talking about how, I shouldn't say everybody, but we're talking about how Sean will grab him, could catch him. Like, I hear Usman's point. I get it because of what Aljo will do, but that's what Peter did. He went 6 for 13. He hung on him the whole fucking fight. So, and Sean did fucking nothing. So I don't know, man. I know we can hit this one forever. Will had his hand up. I'm gonna let Will get it, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Usman, and then I'm gonna end this card. Oh, there's Will back on the request. He keeps popping in and out. It's fucking weird. I don't know what's going on. Will, you there?
I just want to say one thing, and that if the UFC ever needed another Conor McGregor, they're doing it in the exact way they built up McGregor. McGregor headlined his first main card or whatever, his first event in Boston, and he faced a wrestler and he knocked him out. So if they need that new McGregor, they put him in Boston again, and they're gonna get another knockout.
Oh,
O'Malley,
listen.
O'Malley.
Everything about this is I'm with you, bro. They are trying to the UFC is trying to create something right now. We are seeing the machine right now, bro. All these media guys say how it's a machine, bro. Just like you're saying, Boston knock out a wrestler. If they're lucky, he knocks them out in the second or third after being dominated by a boring ass wrestler. Yeah, you're right. Like I've almost talked myself out of betting the fucking Eljo sub because I know it'll be in a parlay, and like the UFC has everything in this, bro. Like I gotta believe right now Eljo's luggage is late. His food, his room service showed up early. It'll show up late next time. Um, there's no towels. One of the saunas was broke. The portable one is on its way. It'll be here soon. Like, I'm not fucking around. Like, I fully assume. And, like, where else does Dana have reach besides Vegas? Fucking Boston. Fucking Boston, bro. Like, I don't talk like this, but it is
Boston.
fucking undeniable that the UFC is fucking trying to will this into existence, bro. So like it's really hard for me to bet Eljo, even though I think he is super the side because man, the UFC just has a lot into this from in my opinion. Usman, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I get what Andrew's saying as well. I mean, he has shit takedown percentage, but he gets the fights done. They've all been controversial. You want to talk about the Peter Yan fight against Sugar? Yes, he went 6 for 13, less than 50%, and yeah, he got 5 minutes of 40 seconds of control, but he lost that fight. When you look at the Cejudo fight versus uh, Aljamain, I mean, I'm obviously biased, but Pancake said that a lot of people thought that fucking Cejudo won. Why was that even so close, despite Aljo taking down an Olympic wrestler and getting control time? Because he really didn't do much damage. It was very close. I say that Cejudo didn't do enough to win it, even as a super fan. I felt like he was rusty. I feel like if he would have thrown a little bit more strikes, he would have got it done. Sugar's going to be one of the first fighters that Aljo doesn't have the reach on, that doesn't have the height on. He's going to be fighting somebody his length. He's going to be at a striking disadvantage. If Sugar can survive, because he will get taken down. Let's not deny the fact that he won't get taken down. He will. But if he can survive on the ground and not get subbed, and then we just have Aljo just on his back or taking control position, not being able to land much damage, we're going to be looking at the classic control time versus damage on the feet. It just all depends if Sugar can land enough damage on the feet versus the control time to win the rounds. And you know how fucking judging can be. You know how the damage can be over control time. Like, I don't see how this is not a point where we can get a fucked up decision where Sugar wins, just like we did in the Peter Yan fight. I thought he beat Peter Yan. A lot of people didn't think that, but the judges did, and that's all that matters. I think he did it because of the damage, despite getting taken down a lot. I think that it's very possible that Sugar gets this done by decision as well.
Usin, let me ask you, how do you think Sean fares? Because here's the thing, I don't think his cardio is bad by any means. You know what I mean? When he fought Yan, you could tell that was a pretty grueling pace, and you could tell he felt it. But he's a warrior, and he hit a moment of adversity, and he overcame it well. I think he did. Here's my question to you: it's going to be a different pace because Aljo's not going to strike that much, but he's going to grapple fuck, or that's at least going to be his plan. So what I'm asking you is if it hits rounds 4 and 5, how do you think Sean fares in terms of that cardio with that pace?
I agree with you. The pace with the Yan fight was very intense and it was a lot more striking. So that definitely helped his part of the game and his cardio. But we did see him dig down deep in the third round. I know that's a very contested round. I think Damage is what won him that round. But we all just got to see how the fight plans out. Will's right about the striking distance. Let's say in those first 2-3 rounds, Aljo only gets one takedown. Or if he does get the one takedown and he just chills, like with the Cejudo fight, he got the takedown towards the end and just chilled on his back. It didn't seem like either of them exerted a lot of energy there. What if he can't get the takedown in those first 2 rounds? What if he gets it and nothing happens with it? And Sugar isn't spending a lot of energy in those exchanges. Like, I really don't know. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. We don't know how the conditioning will go. We don't. Maybe fucking Aljo ragdolls him for the first 3 rounds and is taking him down fucking 15 times, and we have to see his gas go after that. You know what I mean? We don't. It's a lot of unexpected variables going into this fight. But if Sugar can stay away, land a couple of kicks, keep the distance in a big cage, circle, stay away from him, I mean, who knows what we can see? We can see a fucking fresh as fuck Sugar show in the fourth and fifth rounds. Like we really don't know how it's gonna go, and it all depends on if Aljo can get those takedowns. But one thing I will give Aljo credit for in that Cejudo fight, and maybe it was because he was fighting a way shorter and way shorter in length fighter, he did look a lot more composed. Like his striking looked, I wouldn't say better, but in a composed pace. He was smart with the kicks. He was smart with the jab. Like he really used all his advantages to his best opportunity, and he didn't look like the Aljo that we saw against Peter Yan the first time, where he shot 52 takedowns, and by the fourth round, third round, he looked dead tired. Like in that Cejudo fight, he definitely fixed his pace issues in his gas tank. So I don't know how the gas will look for either one of these fighters if it goes late.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's it though. We fucking beat this card dead. We've beat this fight fucking dead. Um. Anyway, Andrew and I usually. Sorry, I had to unplug something. Andrew and I usually got a few segments we fill here. First up, I've got the roster watch. We just do a quick check in. So, according to the roster watch, of course, Austin Hubbard and Kirk Hollabog were added to the UFC roster. Both have some type of contract to make it on to make it to the finale. Fighters removed from the UFC roster include Kevin Lee. We seen that coming. Mandy Boom. Okay. Charles Rosa. No surprise. James Krause is officially off of the UFC roster. Maybe we'll get some answers. Maybe we'll finally start to hear some things unfold. That would be cool.
Fuck James Krause.
Dog, I told, I'm not going to get into it. I told everybody 6 months, 9 months before James Krause even got suspected. If you want to know where the rig is, follow James Krause. I said it in this space every fucking week. So I don't. It was easy, man. If I could have known what James was betting, I'd have been cashing too. I'm glad I wasn't in that fucking Discord though. Ian Heinisch also removed from the UFC roster. That's it for the roster watch. It's nothing big, but we like to bring it up. Sometimes they're big names. Sometimes it's nostalgic. Sometimes it's a bunch of guys we've already talked about. Andrew, do you got any upcoming fights?
Yeah, we got a few. So Casey O'Neill is out of her fight with Jennifer Maia, or with Vivi Araujo. So Vivi Araujo will now take on Jennifer Maia at UFC Vegas 81. That's going to be October 14th. It is official. I'm sure everyone's already talked about it. Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland for the title, September 9th, UFC 293. I think the build up and the press conferences will probably be better than the fight itself. That's just my prediction.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun getting to the fight. I think the fight will suck. Izzy will play the distance. Sean will suck. And yeah, I think
But fight week though,
fight week
fight
will be
week is
fucking
going to be
hype.
fucking
Fuck
fun.
yeah, well.
Like I'm looking so forward to those fucking press
The
conferences.
embeddeds, bro. The countdown.
Oh,
The
dude.
countdown. Holy shit. It's gonna be fucking
Dude.
awesome.
Like my boy T.O. used to say, man, get your popcorn ready because this is going to be a good one, all
Oh,
right?
guaranteed. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. And they got the press conference from last year when
Yep.
they were both in Vegas to fucking use to cut up. Man, that shit is going to be phenomenal.
I agree. We got Natan Levy taking on Alex Reyes at UFC Noche. That's September 16th. That'll be the Mexican Independence Day card in Vegas.
Not mad at it.
Fareed Basharat taking on Clayton Rodriguez. That's going to go on UFC Paris September 2nd. That should be fun.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, I agree. The other brother, Javid Basharat, will be fighting Victor Henry, and that's going to take place on UFC Vegas 79 September 23rd. So just a few weeks later.
Kobe.
Huh?
I said Kobe because that's a fucking layup.
We have Tainara Lisboa taking on Daria Jeleznikova at UFC Vegas 81, October 14th.
That's
Curtis Blades.
Bro,
Dude, this is a fight that...
That's that chick that
Go
just
ahead.
beat forgive me, Maverick, right?
Nah, Lisboa is pretty good though.
No, who was the other one you said?
Jeleznikova. I guarantee this chick is making her debut.
No, that's not.
No, you're thinking about Jasmine Jasdavicius fighting Tracy Cortez on UFC Noche.
Yeah. All right, let Andrew go because yeah.
So this one coming up is one that I think we all talked about, like, just hypotheticals. Well, it's coming to fruition because Curtis Blades is going to be taking on Jailton Almeida at UFC Sao Paulo on November 4th. Fuck yeah. I'm telling you right now. And I know Joe doesn't like this word, but I will take this recency bias to my advantage. And I'm going to take Curtis Blades over Almeida. It's time to get rid of this dude.
Bet him right now, please, to get that line moving. I'd appreciate that.
If Curtis keeps us standing, he's for sure going to sleep.
Oh,
But,
bro,
man, I
it's
think
no
this wrestling
bet.
Who the
negates
fuck
it.
is Almeida putting to sleep? Get out of here.
What?
Hey, man, I might be thinking the wrong guy, bro. But, man, bro, I just can't trust Curtis in the feet, dog. As long as he wrestle fucks, we good. Let's get that Curtis money.
Bro.
Oh, man.
Bro. Jailton by fucking submission. Fuck that.
Okay, I was really confused where Joe was going with this. I was like, is he betting fucking Curtis Blades? What do you mean bring that line down? I don't understand what you're going with. Yeah, man, it's about time we see Curtis Blades go. He's going to be like, fuck, man, I've been getting knocked out. Let me go for a takedown. Boom, straight into a gilly, and let's put this guy to sleep in fucking Sao Paulo, Brazil. Get him out of here.
Bro, they forget in 6 UFC fights, he's got 4 submissions. Bro, he is going to rear naked choke the shit out of Curtis Blades' big ass head.
We'll see. We've got Chris Gutierrez facing Montel Jackson, UFC Vegas 80. That's October 7th.
Oh, yay.
Well, if you're not excited for that one, then you'll definitely be excited for this one. Ronnie Yaya is going to be taking on Alatang Le at UFC Vegas 81, October 14th.
I still feel bad. I'm 90% sure I seen Fat Yaya at Fight Week and didn't say hello to him. Go ahead.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Bruno Silva is going to be taking on Sharabutin Magomedov at UFC 294, October 21st.
Funeral arrangement
in Abu Dhabi.
Funeral arrangements will be made available by Monday of that week. My man Magnus Shaparov is gonna fuck him up, bro.
That's a flyweight?
No, I think this is the
Yeah,
middleweight.
that's middleweight shit, bro. It might be welterweight, but that's middleweight, I think.
No, it
Oh,
is.
wrong Bruno Silva. My bad.
Yeah, not that one. We have Joshua Van taking on Kevin Boreas at UFC 295 November 11th. That's good to see. This guy just won a fucking contender series fight a week ago, and now he's already getting a fight. So that's cool. Here we go. This is going to be an easy fade. Jinyu Fry is taking on Victoria Dudakova at UFC 294 August 21st. If you want to make easy money, you just fade Jinyu Fry. Sorry, but it's easy. And then there were a couple fights that were announced within like last hour or two before we started the space, but I didn't write them down. But what I did get earlier is that Chris Curtis is out of his fight against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So stepping in will be Roman Kopylov.
What? When did that get announced?
Yeah. This was like today afternoon.
Like 2 hours ago.
Like shortly after lunchtime, probably.
Nice. You did miss Tracy Cortez versus Jasmine Jasdavicius, too.
I feel like that one's already been announced in prior
We
weeks.
never talked about it.
Uh,
I'm fucking pumped. I don't think it's a good look for Tracy, but I'm fucking pumped. Anybody else? Anybody think it's a good look for Tracy?
I mean,
Man,
I pump Tracy.
I'll just say, everybody that's shitting on that fucking card, I hate y'all with a fucking passion. Y'all spoiled motherfuckers. We get a free title fight. Any other fucking month, it'd be like, oh, we gotta watch fucking Valentina Shevchenko as a co-main event. Now y'all get her for free. Oh, we gotta pay for it. It's a fucking free
I'm not
event.
mad.
And motherfuckers are out
bro,
here.
who's crying
It's a
about
good
this card? Are
card.
you just making shit up?
Everybody, look around. Go ahead and look it up. Search it into your damn Twitter bar. People are, oh, this card sucks. Oh, this card sucks. Oh, this is the main card. It's like, god damn, this fucking MMA fan base is a bunch of crybaby spoiled bitches. Free
I haven't heard that
title
at
What do you
all,
mean
bro.
free? Free title fight? Like on ESPN Plus? Or what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that fight card
Oh,
isn't a pay per view;
It's
it's a
not
fight
even
night card.
ESPN Plus. It's big network too. You can see it on NBC or whatever, CBS, whatever the fuck they're on. You can see it on that too. It's big net.
I hope Alexa Grasso fucks her up, bro. I hope she fucking capitalizes on that shine, dog. But yeah, Valentina's
Nate
probably gonna
Maness
fuck her up.
and Mateus Menda. I don't know.
Mendonca or Mendonca?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that so? The one thing I want to know about that fight is if it's flyweight or not, because I don't want to see man said flyweight. That guy looks terrible.
Yeah, I do not know. 100% can't tell you. So from there, is that it, Andrew?
Yeah.
All right. So something cool I've been excited to bring up all night. Well, before I move on so quickly, Andrew, you do a good job, bro. I actually appreciate that. I'm not patronizing you at all or being funny. I like that other people do segments on the show. I enjoy it when other guys do it. So thank you for doing that. You've been hitting that fucker or that segment clean for weeks now. Thank you very much. Okay, so something I'm excited about. This is the closing topic. This is it. Anybody see the new rules?
Yep. Kind of
About the
whack.
cuts?
Oh, bro, there's a few of them. So the eye procedure is that the physician has to wait at least a minute to a minute and a half before the physician will be able to. So this is in case of an eye poke. The physician has to wait a minute to a minute and a half before they can evaluate the eye to give the fighter some time to recover before they start asking them if they can see and to follow the finger and things like that. So they now get a minute to a minute and a half before the doc gets to that capacity. They also get I'll do them in order. If at all possible, the ringside physician needs to try and refrain from shining any light into the injured eye, as that can cause the eye to spasm. So unless they think that a nail is stuck in there or some stupid shit, I guess. They are supposed to refrain from using a flashlight. They don't ask the fighter if they can see at this time. Meaning if they are shining the light in the eye, that's how I'm interpreting it. That is not the time to ask them if they can see. Allow the fighter time to compose themselves, as the fighter will be more respective and able to give verbal yes, I can see, if given the proper amount of time. That's We just all know the doctors are assholes. We've all known that. Remember, the fighter is allowed up to 5 minutes to recover from an eye poke foul. Those are what are called the proposed eye poke evaluation procedure for ringside physicians. That was all passed. Um,
So I'm glad they made that 5 minute thing official, because that was like a big misconception about the rules, is that everybody just thought that if there's a foul of any kind that you get 5 minutes. And it's like, no, you get 5 minutes for a nut shot and that's it. Everything else was doctor dependent. So I like that they give them 5 minutes for everything now, because it does give them enough time to recover and potentially try to do something before the doctor even steps in. So I actually like
Me
that.
too. I think these rules are fucking awesome. Usman, go ahead.
I'm sorry if I missed it, but I think I read somewhere that they can now take that cold press and put it on their eyeballs.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
say that?
that'll be next. That's in the referee stuff. That's in the referee.
My bad, my
No,
bad.
that's okay. So the proposed eye poke evaluation procedures for the referee. This is 4 point bulletin. The physician was a 5 point bulletin. So the bulletin one, as required per the foul language regarding eye pokes, the referee will call timeout. I don't know why that's proposed, but okay. The fighter is allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to recover from the foul. The 5 minutes begins when the referee calls the timeout. Well, that is how it goes, except for they're guaranteeing the 5 minutes now. Like you could tell from the language in the other one. So that's just language to guarantee that there will be a timeout officially called, and it is that way we know the official start point from the timeout, or from the for the 5 minutes. So I like that they've clarified that in the language. The referee will allow the fighter 1 to 1.5 minutes to try and recover from the eye poke. So that's before the referee can signal for the physician to come in. And then during the 1 to 1.5 minutes, the fighter should be offered a cold compress or wet towel to use on the injured eye. The cold compress or wet towel can only be used on the injured eye, nowhere else. Fucking awesome. It's something that you could argue should exist in boxing because a glove could clip or whatever in a rare case, but in UFC, uh, scratch that. In MMA, what a phenomenal add to the rules. Very happy about it. I wish they would do a little more with the way replay is used, but any fucking way. On subject, I like this a lot. Any feelings, any feedback on this one before I move through some more shit?
They're perfect. I love them. What do you call? I just the only thing for me is about the nut shots. So they're gonna get 5 minutes now. That's good. It's just, are these guys? I mean, before, when not Andrew cleared it up, I was thinking to myself like, okay, well, I thought they always have 5 minutes, and now that I'm knowing that they actually have the full 5 minutes, it's just a matter if these guys are gonna take the actual time now, because I feel like some of these guys kind of rush into battle. Like obviously they don't want their opponents to get a little upper hand as they're recuperating from their ball shots and shit, but. Yeah, I hope these guys actually take into account more. That now we have the time. Let me use it. Like let me try to get better instead of trying to rush into battle. Because I feel like a lot of times, that fucks up the fights for like, the most part. So I mean, with all this, hopefully it being said and done, hopefully it just works out for the best. Because I can't see anything being bad about this at all. And if you think this shit's wrong, then you're fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I agree. This is what the ABC needed to do, because I started feeling like the Athletic Boxing Commission was not the right place. I've actually mentioned it in spaces prior to this. I've actually bitched and complained about their involvement several times and how it's not really slated to look at MMA. I'm really happy that they have. So quick review is eye pokes are guaranteed 5 minutes now. The fighter gets a minute to a minute and a half before the physician comes in. The physician is not supposed to shine a light in the eye unless they absolutely have to. And then after all of that, then the fighter can be asked if they can see or not. In the meantime of the physician coming in, the fighter will get a cold compress or a wet towel. Okay, great improvements. We've got some more, though. There's 3 procedural changes. So procedural change number 1, utilizing a cut person after a foul. Proposed language, allowing a cut person to be utilized after a foul, but during a round. Intention, when a fighter is the recipient of either an accidental or intentional foul and receives a laceration from the illegal action, the referee in charge, after calling time, putting the fighters in neutral corners, may, in all capital letters, they put may, call upon a cut person to assign, or in regional shows, a corner with no coaching permitted to, and that's in the or in regionals as parentheses, to the injured fighter's corner to enter the cage during the 5-minute break and administer aid to the cut to help stop the bleeding. Then, when cleared by a doctor, return to the action with no more than 5 minutes elapsed. The cut person may only work on the cut or cuts associated with that particular foul. My little wand shit don't work. I would love to put off the fucking clapping hands right now. Like, that is a beautiful fucking rule. I wish that I could think of fights off the top of my head where that's been an issue, but I know that there have been, in my time of fandom, a dozen fucking intentional or unintentional fouls where the fighter's eye, it's usually a headbutt and then the eyebrow splits open. Like, I want to say that Jorge headbutted Nate initially and then was able to split it open by punching it, but I could be wrong about that. But I know that it's happened a lot. I think that is a fucking phenomenal rule change or procedural change. Any feedback? Anybody not like it? Anybody got any issue with it?
That's only for illegal strikes, right?
Yeah, illegal strikes, exactly.
All right, I'm cool with it then.
Usman's like, cut person 2 minutes in. No, bitch, bleed and die, or I'm not watching.
Well, I thought I'm spacing out, I guess. I thought for some reason it was just any cut. I was like, wait, what a minute. No.
Yeah, you must have just heard me read it wrong. I like that one. Another one is procedural change number 2. Position fighters for a restart after a foul. Proposed language. Position fighters to restart after a foul warning. Physician's examination or point deduction. Intention. A fighter should be allowed to improve their position based on fouling. This is so fucking awesome, guys. When a fighter who is in a disadvantaged position fouls, and the referee must stop the action. So we're talking about grabbing the cage so they can't be taken down is a good example here. Like when someone tries to take you down and you reach up and grab the cage real quick, the referee should be returned. If it can be reasonably accomplished, the referee should be returned. Oh, I'm sorry. The fighters should be returned to their positions after the time is taken for the warning. Physicians, examinations, or point deductions. When the fighter who is in the position of advantage fouls, the referee must stop the action for a warning, physician's examination, or point deduction. I wish I would have wrote this down without that fucking extra in there every time. The following fighter should be at loss of position or advantage while the bout when the bout resumes. Note that the terms advantaged and disadvantaged are not always equated to top or bottom. An example would be a fighter whose strategy is to avoid stand-up and pull the opponent into the guard to increase the chance of gaining a submission. If the top fighter fouls, it may be more appropriate to return them to the grounded position instead of standing them up how they would normally do. So I like it. I like it. I think that we've complained so many times about loss of position or someone grabbing a cage and it changes the whole fucking fight. I think this is awesome. Andrew, I see you getting on the mic, but go ahead.
Yeah, so my thing with that, and I actually like it, is because the rule or the way it's always like explained over commentary is like, okay, well, you either so for the foul, right? It's either okay, you either lose a point and then start in the stand up, or you don't lose a point but you get put back in that disadvantaged position. But it's like you don't ever stop and ask the fucking fighter in the advantage in the advantageous position what he wants. You just fucking assume and you do what you want. But then there has been a lot of mistakes lately where they'll do that and then they won't return into the position. And it's like, well, dude, you just gave up his prime position. It was the big fight was Cody Stamen. That shit happened to him. He was
Yes,
winning that
sir.
fight and then he lost his
Yes,
position
sir.
and no point was taken. So it's like, well, what the fuck then? You know what I mean? So I like the fact that it's like, okay, not only are you going to get put in this bad position, but you also lose a point for fucking cheating. So I agree. I like that.
100%. I 100% agree because you could reason at some point it's worth fouling somebody to get out of a position. Um,
Yeah, dude, it's like in football. Like there are certain times where football players will use their IQ and they're like, "Hey, I can't give up this big play at the end of the game for a touchdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to foul you. You get a couple extra yards. We'll take some time off the clock and then you're going to have to do something else." So, yeah, there's times where fighters will do that. They'll be like, "Well, fuck this. I'm just going to use this to my advantage."
100%. 100%. Usman, go ahead.
Man, I know everybody's all in for new rules and stuff and rule changes, and I know it's for the better. But my only issue is, now that I think about it more with all of this stuff, is we've got a lot of old refs that like we see constantly the same refs, and even our best refs make some really fucking shitty choices. And like we had, I think about like Herb Dean fucking explaining and talking Tatsuro Taira through illegal 12 to 6 elbows and not even reffing the fight, telling him no, you can't do it, you can't. Like it's just and fucking Andrew just brought up a perfect example where a dude got screwed over because he got fouled in a better position. Like how often are we going to see these new rules even be enforced? Or like, and I get it too, I mean, it's heat of the moment, fucking the refs got to be on this shit. How many times are they just going to be like, yeah, let's just keep it going, I don't want to fuck with the pace of the fight, even though that's kind of like your job. I think it is going to kind of get a lot more confusing and a lot more messy for the next year or so, or however long this is implemented, until we figure until it's going to get bumpy. The road's going to be bumpy first. That's what I'm saying, before we hit the smooth sailing of actually getting these rules implemented and having them work well.
Oh, I'm still bitching 2 years later that the judges don't utilize their shit right. 10-8, 10-7. The scoring field should be completely different in MMA than it is. I agree. This shit is going to take forever to get fucking handled. I agree. Anyways, last one, and then that's going to be it. Procedural change number 3: standing up fighters and or breaking fighters. Proposed language: standing up fighters from the downed position and or breaking fighters that are standing and pinned against the cage. The referee shall either stand up or break the fighters when neither is either able to or fails to demonstrate real significant and or sustained effort to advance towards finishing the fight by any method. Simply maintaining what you perceive as superior position will not be considered effort to advance towards finishing the fight, nor grounds for a guaranteed opportunity to maintain that position. Why the proposed change? Inconsistent application of the referee's protocols concerning when to stand up fighters and break fighters from the cage. Fighters are using passivity in pursuit of victory by trying to simply maintain a position without a significant attempt to finish the fight. Their effort and actions reflect merely an attempt to neutralize an opponent, in essence trying to win by avoiding losing. We believe that these 2 points are closely related, and that if we were better defined and if they were better defined, the referee's guidelines or protocols addressing when it is appropriate to stand up or break, fighters would achieve greater consistency while simultaneously removing or at least reducing the opportunity for fighters to use a passivity in pursuit of victory strategy, which we feel fails to fulfill the terms of their agreement with the promoter and their obligation to the fans who pay to watch a competition. Phenomenal. Shitty read, but phenomenal. They now have language that they can make them fight. I like it. Any feedback?
Make them fight, bro. It's gonna make these fight nights a lot fucking more fun. Like, there's always those boring few fights that stick out, like in the fight night. Like that Corey fight, like if it's gonna force action, fuck it, let's get it. Whatever makes the show better.
I understand. I mean, I don't like that at the end they have to attach their obligation, their agreement to the promoters or obligation to the fans who pay to watch it. But I do like the term obligation to fans who pay to watch a competition, because it is anti-competitive. It is not competitive to know that I can hold you against the fence. Usman versus Masvidal. Usman versus Masvidal. One. It's not competitive, bro. They couldn't break it up because Usman kept stomping the toe, but it's it, they should have broke it up fucking 10 times. So I like it, man. I like it.
So here's what I'll say on this, because I'm aware of the fact that there's a lot of fight fans that don't like other sports. They're just strictly combat sports people, and that's totally fine. What I'm here to say is that expect this a lot more often moving forward. Mixed martial arts is a very new sport, and it's still developing. And if you guys haven't learned yet, sports are businesses. And what kind of business are we in? The entertainment business. You are here to entertain people. If you look at any sport, basketball, baseball, football, even recently, every single one of these sports are changing their rules so they can get more scoring because it equals more entertainment. And it's always been that way. There's always been trying to find ways to adjust the rules to make shit more entertaining. So expect this moving forward as the sport progresses in the next few decades. You know what I mean? There's going to consistently be rule changes that are going to try to boost, more entertaining fights. And then you're going to get a lot of hardcore people who are like, oh, well, you're taking away from the sport. Yeah, they are taken away from the sport because it's less about sport and more about entertainment. So just expect this a lot moving forward.
Well, I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. But I will say that by allowing them to hold position, you change the sport. I, you start teetering the limits of other sports, wrestling and shit like that. So, um, I understand it. I get it, and I understand what you're saying too. It is 2-2. But these are issues that fans have had for a long time, things that we've been bitching about. I'm sure the promotion's bitching about them too. But most of the shit on that list are stuff we've all bitched about in one way or another. Maybe we didn't suggest the fucking eye compress, but I'd say we've all wanted these changes, and I think they're great. I have nothing bad to say about any of them. I think they're great changes. So, that's all I've got. Anybody else got anything they want to get off before we get out of here? Well,
Yeah, just go to captainmma.com. Don't forget, go over there. Like I said, if you do not want to make money off your bets, don't use the site. If you want to profit off your bets, actually make money from what you're betting, use the website. You will get the live odds, and you can get odds beforehand, regional for across all the books. So from all the top books, DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Bet Rivers, whatever you got. It will show you the best odds, the best lines. Use it. You want to make profit off your bets, right? And then it gives you a parlay calculator. With the parlay calculator, you'll be able to find the best odds on the parlay that you're making. So, I mean, it's all free tools. You would be stupid to not use it. All we ask is, just check it out. If you fuck with us, check out the site. If not, that's your loss. But yeah, make your money and stack it up, boys. Don't be donating to the books.
so here's what I'll tell you.
Captainmma.com.
That's a great plug, and here's one I'll give you real quick. So, parlays that are reporting, I'm just going to take the fights here that are reporting at all 32 reporting MMA books right now. So, there are actually, we're going to take the favorites on everything except for the Damon Blackshear fight because there's not enough books on that yet, to be fair. If you parlay all the favorites on the card, you're not getting very good odds this week, but I can click and tell you that at certain books you will only get it, and this is with every fight included, nothing missed. You will only get it at 1,800. At other books, you will get it at plus 2,900, plus 3,500 at Betfair. Um, those are huge differences. Plus, yeah, they're not missing anything at plus 1,800. So all the favorites on the card. Let me see. Okay, so 888 Sports misses one, to be fair. So does Points Bets. They miss one. But Leo Vegas hits every fight on the card. It goes off at plus 1841. You can simply scroll over and find it at Betfair at plus 3501. If you bet some of the local books, you'd know that MGM's at plus 2743, where FanDuel is only at plus 2200. That's a huge difference. A lot of people on their phone, um, just by jumping over on the one app. Uh, you can save that money, and if you're doing multiple parlays, that's when this comes in handy. You don't have to jump back and forth and punch everything in on every app. If you're on DraftKings, just so I can see, DraftKings is plus 2705. If you're on Bet Online, plus 2973. I know personally guys who have Bet Online, uh, DraftKings, and FanDuel on their phone. So I don't think it's far fetched to have that. Anyways, I thank everybody for their time. Andrew, I appreciate you co-hosting, bro. Dead Picks, Uzman, you guys are staples. Cade, we love you around here, bro. I'd like to set up an environment where we can maybe get. I know Eddie pops in here and out of here, but I don't think he's just got a spot on the mic, man. I think Eddie's a great guy. I'd love to set up a spot where he could just come hang out, talk some fights where we don't got to make him feel any more like media than you are, bro. He's just a cool people. And let Eddie know we're doing that fantasy football league. If you guys want to get a couple of the cage side guys in there just for fun, we'll do that too. That'll be fun. Thank everybody, man. I think Picasso, I think you've been here all night, bro. Who else is over there? Deposit. He's I know he's been in here for a while, bro. And we see Fat Hamzat. We see him frequent, man. You guys are OGs for staying late with us till the end. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, guys. We'll do this again next week. Oh, don't forget, I forgot to plug at the beginning of the space, man. I forgot to plug everything, but Trace has got Friday spaces. He ain't got one this week anyway, so I guess I can save it. Fucking have a good night, boys.